Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good afternoon, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. 49ers versus Giants is kicking off Thursday night football in about 3 hours. We're sending it out to Santa Clara beginning at 4:15 right here on Sactown Sports 1140 and the Sactown Sports app. Quick injury report for the game. 49ers wide receiver Brandon Ayuk is expected to be out tonight with a knee injury, and the New York Giants will be without Saquon Barkley, big money left tackle Andrew Thomas, left guard Ben Brenderson, and edge rusher Azeez Ojulari. Those are your headlines. Let's get started right here on Sactown Sports.
Welcome to Game Day. Buddy Gleason, FB Santangelo Jr., JJ producing today, and of course Cole Hamels. Isn't it great to have Cole Hamels run the board for us today, FB?
Yeah. I was always wondering what that guy was up to.
Yeah.
I think he was with San Diego earlier this year at one point. That was his last stop.
I'm done, and people don't care, I know, but you look a lot like Cole Hamels today. With your Rangers hat on.
I like the comparison.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad when I walked in and you said I thought Cole Hamels was showing up to the studio.
Yes. Who's showing up tonight, FP? 49er fans celebrating the home opener. And I know you've been in the Bay Area a long, long time. Isn't it interesting the way the atmosphere at Levi's for 49er games, it's been transformed. Now, it's been a while because 2019, of course, was the Super Bowl year. But in those Chip Kelly, Tom Sula years, that place was, it's too hot. There's not a lot of character there. And now that place gets to rocking pretty good, and it certainly will tonight.
Especially in the parking lot. It's almost like a whole party, a whole scene, which means the team's doing pretty well, right? But I feel like the Niner faithful are fully embracing Levi Stadium finally. Mm-hmm. And we always talked about it was going to take a couple successful seasons. They're finally breaking in the place. There's no more real excuses anymore, right? You got to show up. You got to support this team. It's a Super Bowl roster. I'm really excited. I know the videos are going to start coming out while we're on air, just of all the ridiculousness in the tailgate scene. Like, what was it last year? There was a guy that had a remote control chair that had like barbecue on like the side. It was ridiculous, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what you just love to see. So it's going to be a scene today. It's Thursday night football, first game at Levi Stadium of the season. Let's go.
Yeah, especially because it's almost like a homecoming game, right? Where you've got the sacrificial lambs tonight. It's the New York Giants. They'll just be the team that plays us so we can destroy them and celebrate football back in Santa Clara.
Well, that's what everybody's saying. But Whitey, and let's just start it. I am very, how do I put this? I'm cautiously optimistic about the game tonight, just because have you ever had something in your life that was going too good and you're almost like,
what you mean, it's like those movies where, hey, it's quiet. Yeah. Almost too quiet.
Quiet. That's exactly how it feels, right? The start for the Niners, it's almost been too good. And we've been used to Kyle Shanahan starting off seasons, and during his era at least, with some losses or some miscommunications on offense or defense. There's always a little bit of a hiccup. And after all the drama this offseason, right, we're like, oh my goodness, with Trey Lance, they're going to choose Brock, this, that, whatever it was. Now it's almost like things are too good. And now everyone's picking the Giants to lose by a lot tonight. You know, they're out without their left tackle, Andrew Thomas. Saquon Barkley's out. It seems like this is just too easy to me.
Yeah, except that it is going to be easy. There's no way around it, is it? I understand what you're saying.
No, but
you look at the Giants. They played two teams. You know all this. We all know this. They played one team that's not trying. They barely beat them. They played one good team, and they got 40-burgered and shut out.
Yeah.
So, and it's a short week. It's shorthanded, as you say. I understand where you're going, but I just, usually I'm guarded like that and think, yeah, you never know any given Sunday, but not on this particular Thursday. I could be wrong, but I don't see it.
Whitey, can you tell I was raised by athletes? We're
Yes.
like, no,
Yes.
never. It's never easy.
Right,
You got to make
right.
sure, you're prepared. It's weird. It's followed me my entire life. And I just feel like, I don't know. You just got to be careful for the Niners tonight. This is a big national stage. Thursday night football games are weird. Just be careful.
I know.
I want to see a blowout. I think it'd be fun and exciting for everybody to get a lot of touches. A lot of touchdowns, some Nick Bosa sacks would be.
I remember
phenomenal.
those.
Yeah, what are those
Can
like?
you still do that? You're still allowed to do
Especially
that?
because Nick Bosa is being blocked by someone named Joshua Izudu tonight.
Okay. I'm locked in on him.
Azudu. He's the Azu dude. Yeah, yeah. How about this? These are facts, FP. And I'm not going to try to talk you out of your guarded optimism. It's a comfortable space for you, and I respect that. The New York Giants are giving up this year yards before contact on a rushing play. Yards before contact, 2 yards. Last year, they were 2.5, last in the league.
Wow.
2 yards before they even make contact with the ball carrier against a rushing team in the 49ers. So I think that bodes well for San Francisco.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that bode well for San Francisco. And that's just the thing, though, when you have the local media, you have the fan base, and the national media all lining up, it's either this is too obvious or there's something we're missing here. And this is just where I am as a fan of the 49ers. Just got to be careful about tonight. It's not a layup. Still NFL players, still a very good team. New York Giants are a storied franchise, and they could be a little frisky. It could be a little
now
frisky.
You've gone too far. And again, now you're starting to sound like Kyle Shanahan. Hey, storied franchise.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean anything tonight.
Did you like that, by the way? Did you like the storied franchise? You can always slip that in as ammunition.
Yeah, I had to slip that right back to you. Okay. All right. It is funny hearing Kyle talk this week about, and better than I, coaches, managers, they really feel that. But when he's talking about, Daniel Jones, the talent, the legs, oh boy, he can beat you a number of ways. Yeah, well, he's not gonna, but I know that's just the way coaches have to talk. Wasn't your grandfather a coach?
He was.
Yeah. So maybe some of that coach is coming through.
Yeah, he was a coach at Valley High School.
Yeah.
Down in the Elk Grove area. So, yeah, that's
football coach, right?
Football coach, yeah, for a number of years. So, yeah, that comes out. You want to flatter the opponent, so probably put them off guard. It never works. Everybody knows what everyone's doing, right? You're just blowing smoke.
Did you think the Giants was that a smoke screen about Saquon Barkley? He might play. He's a quick healer.
Yeah, because you want to prepare the 49ers defense to get him ready for him, and maybe they'll have a completely different scheme against the Niners tonight. Yeah, everything's pointing towards the Niners, okay? I'm not saying that they're not going to win. I'm just saying things are just a little too sweet right now. Okay. I'm just trying to prepare people in case, it's 14-0 and you're like, wait a minute. I was told it's supposed to be a 40-0 blowout again tonight for the Niners, and the New York Giants are at 14-0. Right? There's always weird scenarios where a kick goes this way, pass gets intercepted. So it is the NFL. Okay. We got to respect the players.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. It's FP and Whitey. You want to shoot us a text, give us a call, hit us up on the YouTube chat. Who do you think is most likely to have a bust out night tonight for the 49ers? Or, if you want to go Giants, if it makes you more comfortable.
No, let's talk about the
Look
Niners.
Look out for Matt Breida, baby.
Matt Breida. That is a throwback name.
Harris Campbell's going to light him up.
We were talking about it. George Kittle. Everything points to George Kittle. He's been a little too
Jerry Sharp was saying yesterday.
Yeah, just a little too quiet so far in the first 2 games. I know he's still done fantastic. If you look at the box score, right, the stats are there. But he hasn't had like the signature George Kittle moment where he just goes absolute beast mode and carries 3 defenders while he gets an extra 5 yards. I think we're going to see something like that tonight, which is going to be pretty exciting. And then, of course, the talk of the town is Christian McCaffrey. Stop feeding that guy when you don't need to. So that's going to be very interesting to see if it is a blowout early on, what they're going to do.
Yeah, FP's being a little facetious there, but you were telling me earlier that in the Bay Area, there's just people are going nuts over, McCaffrey, they're overusing him. They're crazy. What are they doing?
Oh, my goodness. It's every single sports talk radio station you turn on in the Bay Area. It's what are we doing with Christian McCaffrey? And you couldn't even celebrate the Rams win. It was like, what is Kyle Shanahan doing with Christian McCaffrey? He's got a known injury history. You got to pull him out. And I understand the perspective from fans, but this is the National Football League. That guy's getting paid a lot of money. You got to go pedal to the metal. You can't let up. And I'm sure Kyle Shanahan didn't want to relinquish anything to Sean McVay, right? That's like his friend/frenemy, right? So yeah. I get it. I think Elijah Mitchell will be more in the mix tonight, especially if it is a blowout early on. At some point, we're going to have that conversation of saving Christian McCaffrey for the playoffs if things are aligning that way. But it's the 3rd game of the season.
Don't you think some of that is in the Bay Area? You're talking about the 49ers. You got to find something to talk about when they're playing so well. And then when Kyle says, hey, you know what? Yeah, we got to mix it up a little more. Then you're just giving license for people to go, yes, it's a mistake. It's terrible. It'll be the doom of them all if they can't figure out how to get Christian McCaffrey more rest.
Yeah.
It's an overreaction.
It's an overreaction. And I mean, Christian McCaffrey, all things point to he's in the best shape of his life, right? He's getting more open than ever because this team actually blocks for him, unlike teams he's played for in the past, right? He doesn't have to use all of his abilities all the time, even though we see them from time to time. I mean, he's just shooting off long runs left and right, but you got to keep him healthy. I get that. But guys, it's the third game of the season. Let's see him run a little bit, all right? You know, I've been preaching Christian McCaffrey MVP. I want to see him put up MVP type numbers and get into that conversation.
I've been preaching Jake Moody MVP, but to each his own. I was thinking that maybe, with Ayuk out tonight, maybe Christian McCaffrey, they use him more in the passing game. But that's one thing, statistically anyway, the Giants are actually do a pretty good job of defending backs in the passing game. So I don't know about that. So yeah, Kittle does make a lot of sense.
He does make a lot of sense. And if he doesn't get the ball per se, you're going to see a lot of big blocks because the running game is going to be on fire.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Did you hear the story McCaffrey told of why he started playing running back?
No.
Yeah, he said youth football, Little League football, Pop Warner. He said he went out there and he's like, nobody can throw the ball. You can't. You're too little. Every play starts, they toss it to the running back. So he says, that's what I wanted to do. You get the ball every time. And he still plays like that, doesn't he? Like he's a kid that give me the ball. He has so much fun.
He does. He's a fun player to watch. And usually that correlates because they're having fun doing it, right? So he really enjoys his job. And we really enjoy him here in Northern California.
Yeah. But, boy, well, I thought the 49ers had an easy win tonight, but
hey, I'm not saying it's not going to be. I'm not saying hammer Giants money line right now or anything like that.
What is it, 10 or 10.5 now?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't checked recently, but I think it's still. Last time I checked, it was 10. So I don't know if it's 10.5, but I don't know.
I would jump on that number. I'm not gonna though. Coming up next, we'll take a very quick break. Coming right back with this, as we mentioned, 49ers prepare to face a ghost of Levi's past tonight. Next, FP Jr. Whitey, Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heating and Air. It's the end of summer blowout on all their systems. Right now, $2,500 off full systems, as low as $34 a week. And now American Energy Heating and Air offering a free Wi-Fi smart thermostat of your choice on high efficiency units. Look, the uncomfortable becomes comfortable with American Energy Heating and Air. They've been around since 1981, making the greater Sacramento area proud with an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. And as always, their goal is to exceed your expectations, exceed them of the heating and air industry, valuing the customer experience and making your home comfortable. It's that simple. Go to American Energy Heating and Air and get yourself a free Wi-Fi smart thermostat of your choice on high efficiency units.
Call 916-520-9998 now.
Your new home for 49ers football in the 916 Sactown Sports.
Thanks for being with us on this game day as we get ready for the 49ers and the Giants. It's honestly a distinct pleasure to be with FP Jr. today. I worked with his dad for many years, and just great to be with you. It's strange in a way for me, but it's awesome. It's one of those full circle things.
Yeah, it is a full circle thing, as I forget to turn on my mic.
Mic check.
Mic check. No, it is a very full circle moment. It was cool coming in. When I saw I was working with you on the schedule, Whitey, I was like, this is awesome. Nice. This is the most fantastic thing like that could happen because, I grew up listening to you guys all the time here in Sactown Sports 1140 now. But just to have this opportunity to talk sports with you, have the full circle moment. I was always running around back in the day at KHTK when there's a vending machine and some coffee, and I was getting snacks for you guys.
That'd bring you in the summer when if you needed to.
Yeah, and now we're talking sports together, so this is really cool. It's a really fun time.
It is fun, except that you're trying to convince everybody that the 49ers are in trouble tonight.
I'm not saying they're in trouble. I'm just a little cautious. It's the baseball player in me. It's the Italian in me being superstitious. If you always just walk around saying we're going to blow out these guys, I mean, Coach Prime doesn't even say that about his opponents.
You are correct. You are absolutely correct. Did you know, by the way, that Christian McCaffrey can make some 49er history tonight?
I did not know.
He apparently here, if you include postseason, he has a touchdown in 11 straight games. 11 straight games with at least one touchdown. The team record is 12 that Jerry Rice set in 1987.
So you're telling me he can tie Jerry Rice's record
for most consecutive games with a touchdown?
Wow, that's pretty incredible.
That's how impactful he's been. Isn't it amazing to think before he got here, we still thought, wow, this is a really good team. And now they're like, oh my goodness, how did they ever win without Christian McCaffrey?
It really feels like that.
Yeah.
And at what point as a Niners fan do you start like talking about him as like one of the greatest running backs that's ever been a 49er, right? Because he's really that explosive. He's really that dynamic. From a talent level, I think he's already in the discussion. But all time, I think he's got to play. He's got to win more, obviously. There's a lot of other factors, but that conversation is coming soon. Mm-hmm. And that's really, really exciting.
Yeah, anytime you talk about that with like a baseball player, is he a Hall of Famer or not? There's two ways to look at it. You look at longevity or you look at peak performance. And obviously he hasn't been here that long, but in terms of peak performance, it's hard to think of anybody who really has done better and has been more impactful than he has in his short time here.
Yeah. And I wonder, as far as jersey sales go, I wonder if he's had the fastest selling jersey in Bay Area. I won't say Bay Area, but Niners history, just because it was almost like overnight. You just started seeing Christian McCaffrey jerseys everywhere. You started seeing CMC everywhere. He was just like a lightning rod at the perfect time. I mean, that might go down if all said and done and things work out this season as one of the best trades in Niners history. So a lot to be said, a lot to be done still. And if he gets that touchdown tonight, it's just going to add to that resume.
Yeah. Remember, I'm sure you remember when it happened, there were some that said, there may still be some that think this, but they wouldn't say it, that the 49ers, they gave up too much to get Christian McCaffrey. Was it 2 number 2s and a 3 or whatever it was?
Yeah, which in hindsight is nothing compared to what they've given up.
Exactly.
Now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no. But yeah, you know what? Let's enjoy the present. Let's enjoy the moment. How about this? As we get closer to game time, I guarantee you I'm going to start relaxing a little bit about the game. I'm going to start seeing those fun tailgate videos. I'm going to start seeing all the fun festivities at Levi Stadium, and I'm probably going to relax about the game. It's just when everybody just points towards one team, I'm always just have the kernel of the doubt, like, wait a minute, these guys are still getting paid money to play a game. So
yeah, that's a shrewd way to look at it. You mentioned the Giants' storied history, which we kind of, shoved back at you, but it is true. They have a storied history, and these two teams have played some great and very meaningful games against each other.
They have. Throughout history,
postseason games and games with the Super Bowl on the line. And
did you know they have some baseball history too with the San Francisco Giants?
No, I didn't.
So they're actually named together. So the New York Football Giants were named after the New York Baseball Giants.
I figured that,
and they wanted to be a tandem, so they would be known as like the New York Giants of New York. So one sport was for one, and the other was for other, and it was like this weird thought process back in the day that clearly didn't work out, right? Because one team left, but they kept their name. So I watched a YouTube documentary. So I'm basically like a historian at this point.
Okay.
No, but it's really cool. If you ever want to dive into the history of why they're called the Giants, it does correlate to the actual baseball club. So
yeah,
another storied franchise to talk about. So
baseball used to be way bigger than football back then when the NFL was just starting off. It was like something to keep you busy till spring training starts. Can you imagine that? You look at the way it is now.
It's funny.
Baseball dwarfed football in terms of popularity.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? Babe Ruth? He was the guy. I mean, did football even have a Babe Ruth back then? No. It was like just a bunch of guys getting together. I watched a YouTube video the other day of just how play calling was back then and how they would play football and basically throw with 2 hands, like an overhead pass, right? Like in soccer. It was the funniest thing ever. And then they go to the sidelines and take a sip of a beer and smoke a cigarette.
Sure.
Just old school football.
Uh-huh.
It's really, really fun to pull up those videos, and they're around on the internet if you want to see it. That's how long in the history goes with the New York Football Giants.
Speaking of history, and we touched on this in our first segment, tonight, I should say, pardon me, the 49ers will be facing a familiar face because with no Saquon Barkley, Matt Breida figures to be the primary ball carrier for the Giants. And he was, for a brief period, he was the 49ers leading rusher, and he was a very effective back for Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, Matt Breida, the cheetah.
Yeah.
He had a lot of big-time runs, and I thought he didn't get a lot of credit for what he did here in San Francisco at the time because he really was part of the run game. But it always goes back, and this is another discussion we can have. Whenever you insert a running back into Kyle Shanahan's offense, it feels like they don't get the credit unless your name is Christian McCaffrey, just because he's just a head and shoulders above everybody else.
Yes.
Right?
Well, we have that conversation now about how come running backs aren't appreciated. Part of it is you have coaches like the Shanahans and their fine assistant Bobby Turner, and they're able to find guys that can run and find the holes in this system. So, you go back to when Mike Shanahan coached the Broncos, and Terrell Davis is great. How are they going to replace him? Well, here's a guy, Mike Davis. Here's a guy, Tatum Bell, Reuben Drones. They just came up with these guys that would rush for 1,000 yards because they had a knack for finding guys that other people didn't realize how good they were, but they had that knack in this zone offense for getting the ball, reading the blocks, finding the hole, and boom, gone.
Just like that. Boom,
yeah.
Just gone. But now you have guys in this offense with Kyle Shanahan that block, and they take pride in blocking. I mean, everybody was talking about Brandon Ayuk block, right? That really led to the Christian McCaffrey touchdown and how big of an impact that had in that particular play. You see it everywhere. It's almost like the Niners are more physical than almost any other NFL team from a personnel perspective. Like, they want a piece of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're trying to physically hurt you on offense, which you don't really see too often. And it's really, really, really fun to watch as a fan because you're looking for the crack blocks now as more so of just guys running through, right? Finding those holes and running for a long gain.
FP, no block, no rock, man.
No block, no rock.
Yeah, I thought that said a lot, that play going back to the opener that you're alluding to. That said to me so much about the 49ers culture, and I think that word is overused, but when you have McLeod and Ayuk downfield block, it's already a huge gain. That shows you that everybody's on the same page, that everybody is, we need to do this for the good of the team.
Yes.
And, that's one thing, whether it's the players deserve most of the credit, but the one thing Kyle Shanahan, you got to say about him, he has gotten this team to the point where they play together and they play hard for him.
And maybe the hardest era in football history to do that, because when you think about social media, you think about the individualism that you see in the NFL now, or just in all of sports. Let's take away the NFL. Guys are really concerned about their stats and really concerned about getting paid, which is fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're really sacrificing their bodies out there for their teammates. It just goes to show how great the culture is, like you're saying.
A guy like Kittle sets the tone for that too. Look at Kittle. He gets battered every year.
And he craves contact.
And I think even Jimmy G set an example in that regard too.
Yeah, I mean, he was setting a block at one point. Remember, and he came up smiling. Everyone was like, yeah. I don't think Brock Purdy's going to do that. But if he does, oh my goodness, we're going to all have a laugh.
We touched on this during the crossover, so you may have heard that. But to your point about the 49ers and all the different running backs they've employed, since 2017, they've had a different leading rusher every year. Can you, and you're a historian, you said, can you name any of the since 2017, a different leading rusher every year for the 49ers? Last year, of course, was easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Deebo Samuel on that list?
No, he's not.
Ooh,
McCaffrey was last year, and he probably will break that streak. This year, he'll probably be back-to-back. But Breida was 2018.
Okay.
Carlos Hyde, 2017.
Yes.
Raheem Mostert in 2019. Jeff Wilson and Elijah Mitchell, and then McCaffrey. So different leading rusher every year for 6 years under Kyle Shanahan.
Man, that's pretty impressive. And that just goes to show another feather in Kyle Shanahan's cap that he can really make it happen with really any running back. But when you just have that jewel that is Christian McCaffrey, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's when you keep a guy like him in the offense, and you're probably going to give him back-to-back years as the most rushing yards just because he's Christian McCaffrey.
Right. If he's not, then something has gone terribly wrong. And let's hope it does.
But that's interesting that Deebo Samuel never was. I know he's a wide back. I know he's a wide receiver, but there was one season, I mean, it was 2 years ago now, right, where he really broke out in the running game. So
I don't think that happened until a quarter of the season was over,
Yeah,
maybe something like that.
yeah.
So that may be why.
Maybe it's
I'll double
recency
check how close
bias.
he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, and what's really cool as a Niners fan is you can look around the league now and see, a Raheem Mostert playing for the Dolphins, right? And still finding success in the league.
Same system,
Yeah,
similar system.
a Jeff Wilson Jr. All these different guys are still playing in the league at a high level. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that amazes me about the 49ers, and we're aware of it here because we see it up close, but I think around the country, there's a lot of fans that look at the 49ers and say, oh, it's all offense and the schematics and really futuristic high-tech offense. And really, certainly Kyle Shanahan's a great play caller. But when it comes right down to it, this team's identity is still we run the ball and we stop the run and we play physically. It's really old school football.
At the heart and soul of it,
Yes,
it is. It's not air raid. They're not looking for the deep pass.
Right.
They're looking to send a message while beating you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what football always has been about. That's like the visceral part of football that we as fans love so much. We love to see the contact. We love to see the physicality. And that's what this team watches. I mean, there's a reason why you turn on ESPN, you turn on all these national huge channels, and they're showing the 49ers all the time. It's because they're very fun to watch. And it's going to be a different guy every night, too. So you're not just thinking, oh, they're a one-dimensional team. They do this. No, they're looking to hurt people, and they're looking to beat you different ways, and they're creative, too.
Yes. But for all the creativity, and I totally agree, and the pre-snap motion, it's all based on their ability to run the ball. That sets up everything. And then on the other side of the football, our pass rushers are better than yours, and we're going to destroy you at the line of scrimmage. It's just basic football 1A.
It's great because you could get super scientific about football, right? You could say the one guy's going this way, then you got to cover this guy, and you can talk about coverages all day. But at the end of the day, it's about the talented personnel. It's about the creativity in the run game. How many times has Kyle Shanahan just said, yeah, we're just trying for 30 touches. That's it. We're just trying to rush the ball 30 times.
Yeah.
That's all.
Me bigger than you. Me knock you over. 49er football.
Yeah, I'm all in.
Coming up next, I have bad news for an NFC contender this afternoon. And one of the best defenders in football is defending his controversial tackle. And we'll tackle that next. FP Jr. and Whitey, Sactown Sports.
Can Mike Brown build on last season's Coach of the Year award? Can the Kings exceed 48 wins?
We will be better prepared to make the run that we expect to run come next playoff.
Tune into every Kings game this season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Quick Quack Car Wash.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Thursday forecast will include hazy sunshine, an occasional north breeze, and temperatures this afternoon down slightly. Daytime highs expected in the lower 80s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
There's just something about fall that makes me want to enjoy every moment. The changing leaves, the pumpkin patches, and you know what else won't last? Quick Quack's new pumpkin spice scented car wash. Text SPICE to 41284 to get 50% off any wash.
Attention all tool shoppers. Get ready for the biggest DeWalt sale event of the year at Fasteners Inc. Sacramento this Saturday, September 23rd. We're bringing you the best deals on DeWalt products you've ever seen for one day only, including impact drivers for $59, combo kits for as low as $179, and up to $2,000 off your order with instant cashback rewards. Again, that's this Saturday only, September 23rd. Come on down and get better tools for better prices at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet. Find us at 6701 Power Inn Road and learn more at fastenersinc.net. Fall is here, and Good Guys Heating and Cooling wants to make sure you're taken care of through the month of September. From now until September 30th, book any tune-up or troubleshooting appointment and get 100% of the trip charge credited back on any completed repairs. Normal big box companies charge $89 or more. Why not put that toward what needs to be fixed? Call Good Guys Heating and Cooling now at 530-GOOD-AIR. That's 530-GOOD-AIR. Or book your appointment now at goodguysheatingcooling.com. Best service, best price, guarantee. And that's no bull. License number 1057618.
Safe Credit Union is our local community-based financial partner, and they are committed to the well-being of their members. Jason Ross here, and we all work hard to reach our financial goals, and banking with Safe helps make that a reality. Because with Safe, you always get competitive rates on savings and loans, so you can spend less and save more for your future. If you're not a member yet, give Safe a try and discover all that truly makes Safe one of the best credit unions in California. Join today at safecu.org/join. Safe Credit Union is insured by NCUA.
Ready for a sizzling football season? Take your game day parties to the next level with Napoleon Prestige Grills from Green Acres Nursery and Supply. Fire up the grill and score big with mouthwatering burgers, juicy steaks, and finger-licking wings. Napoleon Prestige Grills bring the heat and come complete with a lifetime warranty. Get your ultimate game day companion today. Visit your local Green Acres Nursery and Supply and elevate your tailgate experience with Napoleon Prestige Grills. Green Acres Nursery and Supply, your one-stop shop for grilling greatness this football season. Visit iDigGreenAcres.com for the store near you. Game on!
The game of football is about pain. Ever since I was 5 years old, it's been all about football. It's been about running, jumping, blocking, tackling. I stopped playing at 31.
You're listening to Michael Robinson, retired pro fullback.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. I'm so glad that those arch supports are in my shoes. I had terrible foot issues that prevented me from really having a normal life with my kids. With the Good Feet arch supports, man, I'm always ready. My kids actually got to enjoy me in the yard more, racing each other, backpedaling, teaching them some things, being a dad. If I had known about the Good Feet arch support earlier, I would have more than one championship. I would have 2 championship rings.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville.
Hagen Oaks wants you to know about the exciting new T-Series irons from Titleist, offering effortless speed, exceptional feel, and precise control. Working with tour pros and dedicated amateurs, Titleist T-Series are available in 4 different models. The fitting team at Hagen Oaks will find the perfect Titleist T-Series iron for you. Call 916-808-2531 to find your fit today. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway, or online at hagenoaks.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good afternoon, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. 49ers and Giants are kicking off with Thursday Night Football in about 2.5 hours. We're sending it out to Santa Clara beginning at 4:15 p.m., and game coverage will start at 5:20 right here on Sactown Sports 1140 and the Sac. Quick injury report for the game. 49er wide receiver Brandon Ayuk is expected to be out tonight with a knee injury, and the New York Giants are going to be without Saquon Barkley, big money left tackle Andrew Thomas, left guard Ben Brenderson, and edge rusher Azeez Ojulari. Those are your headlines. Let's bring it back for more 49er talk here on Sactown Sports.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
As we get ready for the 49ers and the Giants here in Sactown Sports, Whitey and FP Jr., some bad news for an NFC contender. Trayvon Diggs of the Cowboys actually tore his ACL during today's practice, and he is out for the rest of the season. There had been reports that he was injured. They were going to do an MRI. The MRI confirmed the worst. So Trayvon Diggs out for the rest of the season. At least he did get a chance to, in July they agreed to that 5-year, $97 million contract extension. Could be worth up to $104 million. That was structured to keep him in Dallas through the 2028 season, but obviously a huge loss for a Dallas defense that has been showing their teeth in the early part of the season.
Yeah, he's number 1 in defensive efficiency. I just saw a banner on ESPN, which is a huge blow, right? But he's a leader on that secondary for Dallas, right? And of course, you could be a Niners fan, you could be whatever. You want to see teams at their best, right? So that's a very unfortunate injury for Dallas. I think it's going to change the dynamic of that defense a lot, and maybe you'll see some movement there. Maybe you'll see Dallas trade for a cornerback, because this feels like the year they're going to really go all in for that run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jerry Jones obviously feels like and because he feels like they have a great chance this year. So Dak Prescott told reporters, some of you saw him leaving the field, so prayers for him. Simple as that. We'll keep an eye on how the Cowboys decide to deal with that. But Trayvon Diggs, torn ACL, he's done for the season. This just days after Nick Chubb was lost for the year, after getting injured on Monday Night Football. Minkah Fitzpatrick is responding to suggestions that it was a dirty hit that he put on Nick Chubb. Minkah Fitzpatrick says, "I'm not a dirty player." He says, "I'm chippy, I'm edgy, of course. I'm not a dirty player. I'm not going to sit here and defend my character. I know the type of player I am. Chubb knows the type of player I am. I played against him for the past 5 years, 2 times a year." It's been suggested, FP, that maybe the hit, Minkah Fitzpatrick's hit on Nick Chubb, while it is legal according to the rules now, maybe that should be revisited. Maybe that's something that the league should legislate against in the future.
Whitey, I didn't even see the hit because not only did they not show the replay, I just didn't want to see it. I don't know if you've ever had any lower body injury, significant one. I unfortunately did when I think I was about 14 years old, where I was on crutches for a year and a half. It was pretty significant. I have the worst sympathy pains for people that have to deal with anything with an ankle or a knee, foot. I just didn't want to see it.
Yeah.
So I didn't see the hit. I didn't see the nature of the hit. But I am seeing a lot of fans. I think they're just kind of angry and upset because Nick Chubb is a very likable guy, right? He's probably one of the most likable people on that Browns team. He is their star. And to have him out, it's very unfortunate for the Browns. It's going to impact their season greatly. Minkah Fitzpatrick, I don't think of him as a dirty player. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But I didn't see the hit, so I can't comment on it.
Long story short, he was engaged. Nick Chubb was engaged high, and Minkah Fitzpatrick saw that he had a chance to bring him down if he went low. You know, it's kind of one of those, if you block somebody that way, it's illegal. A tackle that way, again, it's totally legal. It's totally above board. But I know Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk, he was suggesting, that the league nothing against Minkah Fitzpatrick, but hey, maybe that's something the league should look at. I don't know that you can. I mean, if you're going to play football, as you know, it's just such an incredibly violent game. Player safety, there's only so far you can go with it. If you start limiting, and they've already started this to a degree, how you can bring guys down, then you almost can't play defense, and you almost, at some point, you're not even playing football anymore.
That's a great last point you made. You're not playing football anymore. These guys know the risk, right? To be a gladiator in that arena, you're sacrificing a lot. You're sacrificing your long-term health, your short-term health, your mental health, in a lot of different aspects because you're banging your head a lot. This is the sacrifice you make, right, for the sport and for entertainment. You're signing up for this. And if you're going to do so much for player safety, you're going to damage the sport. You're going to damage really American culture because a lot of American culture is centered around football, believe it or not. I mean, we see it everywhere, right? And if you start taking away contact, it's just going to be a snowball effect. It's going to be the next thing and the next thing. And we've kind of already seen that at the quarterback position where you can't even land on a guy a certain way. And if it even looks funny, boom, flag. And it changes the course of the game, which a lot of people don't like. But I get it because the quarterback position is the most important position in sports. Just it's tough, but you're assuming the risk. It is what it is. I mean, Nick Chubb already had a knee injury, which is, man, that's tough. Right?
I know. It's almost, to me, this is an imperfect comparison, I know, but it's almost like somebody gets hit, heaven forbid, with a fastball and they're injured. And then, we got to make a rule. You can't throw the ball so hard. Well, then you're not playing baseball.
You're not. You're not. And that's the cool, I don't want to say cool part about sports, but that's the sacrifice you make in sports, that you have the possibility on any given play to get injured in any sport, right? Even in golf, you could take a bad swing and it hurts your back, right? It's a physical thing you do.
You must have seen me play the last time I played.
You have a bad lower back injury? It's okay, it happens.
I only have a problem, 3 spots on my back: the upper back, middle back, and lower back. The rest of my back is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Here's what Minkah said. He said, "I made the decision as soon as I seen the hole open up and him in the hole to go low. It's a fast game. You make decisions within milliseconds. You can't really control what happens after you choose to make your decision. I already chose to go low. Somebody got on his back and I was going low, and what happened. And as brutal as it was, I hear that and I nod and I get that. Yes, that's how a football player has to think.
Yeah, it's a split-second decision. As fast as you snap.
And what's he trying to do? He's trying to bring him down.
Yeah, that's the name of the game. You're on defense. You tackle the guy with the football, and you bring him down by any means necessary, right? And you try to do it in the parameters of the rules, right? And they add rules every single year, but you got to do your best, right? You got to stop the guy from scoring a touchdown. You tackle him. If it buckles his knee and blows out his knee, so be it. That's just part of the game. You move on, you wish your well wishes, and you got to go on to the next game. That's kind of how it is.
Yeah, I think so. And I know it's great to consider these things, but I don't know. I think maybe we've already gone too far in football with some of it.
Yeah, I'm trying to put myself in this situation if I was a Cleveland Browns fan, right? And so say this happened, heaven forbid, knock on wood, to a Christian McCaffrey, right, for the Niners, right? We would be livid.
Yes.
There would be so many fans that would be out for blood on Twitter, on social media, everywhere. Like, oh, Minka Fitzpatrick, that guy's a dirty player. Like, you shouldn't have done that, blah, blah. It's football. It's football. At the end of the day, take a step back. It's football. This is part of it. It's sports. Got to deal with it. Move on. Injuries happen.
I agree with you. But on the other hand, as you were talking about that, I was thinking of an example. What was the name of the poor guy in the Marlins that went to USF, and then he was the guy that took out Buster? I forget his name. But Brian Sabian just went after him, tore him apart, and it was a totally legal play. But they did look at that. Baseball looked at that, and now that is not legal to take out the catcher. Was it Scott somebody?
I think it was Scooter Gennett.
Could
I be wrong? I think it's Scooter Gennett. Yeah, I'm looking at here. Yes, I believe it is.
Well, if you remember at the time, what he did was totally legal, but they changed it. So I understand why you have to look at these things. But in this, in one case, you're talking catcher can't block the plate, and you got to leave the lane, can't run into them. In this case, I think this is an essential part of football that you can't legislate out. Some of the violent parts of football you can't legislate out, or you lose the very essence of football.
Yeah, I 100% agree. You can't lose the integrity of the game. It's football at the end of the day. You got to play the game, and if injuries happen, they happen.
Scott Cousins.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. So thanks for picking me up on that, Kyle. Looking at a bad link. Don't you hate that?
That's all right.
I can't believe people lie on the internet.
Scooter Gennett was a Marlin, right?
Yeah.
Was he? I thought he was a Red.
Yeah.
He was something.
Yeah. He was a baseball player like you, Cole Hamels. So thanks.
Pitched against him when he was a Red. Scooter Gennett played for the Brewers, Reds, and a brief moment with the Giants.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that's where I
have to admit, when that happened to Buster, there was part of me that thought they shouldn't change that. That's the way baseball's always been. But it's probably better that they did change it, I have to admit.
Yeah, and we still get those weird plays at home now where it's like, no, the catcher was out in front. No, the catcher had a lane. Like all these different things where it's affected the game, and it's made it more complicated.
Wasn't there a game that, this year somebody got tagged out and no, he's safe. Why? He was out. Yeah, but the catcher didn't give him a lane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It gets more convoluted the more rules you add into sports. And at some point, it's going to just get down like where too many commissioners are trying to leave the imprint on the game, whether it's baseball, football, basketball, where there's going to be so many rules. It's going to really limit access into the sport because it's going to feel like you're going to need a manual, right? Which they do have a rule book, right? But you're going to have to really, really study it to understand what the heck's going on.
Yeah. Well, bottom line, terrible news, obviously, for the Dallas Cowboys. And the Cleveland Browns, but Kareem Hunt's back. How about that? What a club they got. They got Kareem Hunt and they got Deshaun Watson on their roster. Yeah, there's a team that's easy to root for, huh?
Yeah.
Woo-hoo! How about those guys?
Sure.
We take a quick break. When we come back, take a look at a former king and a guy who said he wanted to be a king. He's in the news, and he's not going to be a king. That's next year. It's FP and Whitey, Sactown Sports.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Who do they decide on for the Super Bowl?
What do you mean, halftime act?
Yeah. I know that Taylor Swift.
Yeah, turned them down, right?
At what point do people turn on Taylor Swift and be like, why don't you lower your prices? And I understand the whole Ticketmaster thing, but what about the merch? Like, legit, do you have to make $1 billion? Could you make 500 million? Could you?
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Sactown Sports.
Attention taxpayers, ready for some bad news? With $80 billion in new funding from Congress, the IRS has launched their most aggressive hiring campaign ever to ramp up enforcement. If you're ignoring your taxes, don't delay another minute because your paycheck, your bank account, even your home or business could already be at risk. Now, here's the good news. news. Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm, can get to work immediately, helping to protect you from the IRS. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, their tax attorneys and licensed professionals are experts at resolving tax problems. Let them help determine if you qualify for the Fresh Start Initiative or other powerful IRS tax assistance programs. Take control. Call Optima Tax Relief now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street. Right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Model Year End pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the Model Year End event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. Did you know that a solid poo, it's one of the best indicators of your dog's gut health? We're talking about Supreme Source Super Premium Dog Food, the fastest growing premium dog food in the country. Family owned and operated for 50 years. 6 interchangeable recipes packed with protein and powerful antioxidants. Get it Safeway, Save Mart, Smart and Final. Learn more at SupremeSourcePet.com. Do their digestion a solid, literally.
Players know it's not just because you win more, it's because of everything else at Gold Country Casino Resort, where players roll in and winners are made. Winning isn't the only thing on the menu, and nightlife, it's more than entertaining. Drinks and dining options are abundant and guaranteed to satisfy your innermost desires. Come be our guest and see why Gold Country Casino Resort in Oroville is where the players play.
You know what time it is. It's time to trade up to a brand new Kia at Folsom Lake Kia. Trade up to the newest technology with a low payment shop. Folsom Lake Kia, family owned for over 20 years.
Everyone knows Elk Grove Kia is home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on every new Kia. But did you also know that Elk Grove Kia is your one-stop place for used cars? I'm talking over 300 used cars available. With Kia's certified program, with its 165-point quality assurance inspection, we know peace of mind on used cars is important. And that's why we also offer extended service agreements on all our used makes and models. Most prices are under Kelley Blue Book retail. New car protection at used car prices. From used sports cars to used delivery vans, we got them all at Elk Grove Kia. And our financing folks have over 100 years of combined experience. So we approve just about everyone. No credit, little credit, bad credit, no problem. And Elk Grove Kia is proud of our don't like it, bring it back guarantee for up to 3 days or 150 miles, no questions asked. Why would you buy your used car anywhere else? So check us out online at elkgrovekia.com today.
Turn your highway into a smile way. Elk Grove Kia.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
Of course, the way to watch tonight's 49er game, or I mean the way to follow the game, is to listen right here, pardon me, on Sactown Sports. I mentioned watching it because we are streaming. The game's on Amazon tonight. FP, it's Whitey Gleason, FP Jr. How are you feeling about the NFL games being streamed and sports being streamed these days?
All right, let me get on my soapbox, because at first I was all in with streaming. I was like, why isn't everything being streamed? This is just so easy. I could pull it up on my phone, my tablet, my laptop, my smart TV, all these different things. It was so seamless. You know, maybe you had to sign up for an account. Maybe it was free, whatever. I was into it. But now I go to my grandparents' house. I go to my mom's house. Heck, even in my apartment, I go. And there's like 30 different apps you need to choose. And you don't know which one it is. You got to go on Google and find out which streaming service is it on. You got to maybe sign up for a free account. Then you got to maybe sign up for the account, then just delete it after the game, right? Or cancel your subscription.
Got to remember to do that.
Yeah, you got to remember to do that, or else now you're getting charged $15 a month. You're like, oh man, that was 3 months ago, which has definitely happened to me.
You just reminded me there is one of those that I have to cancel when I get home. Yeah, one of those free trials.
It's crazy. And now I'm hearing that, football and baseball and basketball is coming to Max, HBO Max. It's going on to Netflix eventually, like live streaming sports. It's in so many different places now. It's so convoluted. It is a mess. I loved it when it was just, NBA TV. That's great, right? That's still a thing. When it's MLB TV, that's great. But when it's on different places now, and even if you do have NBA TV or MLB TV, you won't have access to these games on certain platforms. It's a mess. Yeah. I'm over it. I'm sick of it.
About 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, you would probably know exactly what game I'm talking about. It was a Friday night, and the Giants were on, I think, Apple Plus.
Oh,
and
yes.
I know that some of the Friday games are not on NBC Sports Bay Area because they're on local TV. So I couldn't find it, and for some reason, I didn't get the memo that it was on Apple TV. I was like, I don't know where it is. It wasn't that I couldn't find it. I didn't even know where to look. I just gave up. I guess I'm not watching the Giants tonight.
I've done that many, many times with different sporting events. If it just inconveniences me for like 5 minutes, I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, because you're like, I'm trying to support you. I want to watch.
I want to watch my team, but I can't because I need a password and I got to remember my password. And what was the email address? I got 4 different email addresses. Oh my God. And then you go back and forth. Then the good part is you could just listen on the radio.
Right.
Which I've done before.
Right. Yes.
I just listen to the game on the radio, and that's easy. And, I'm trying to get a visualization. Maybe I'll go on Twitter to look at the highlight I just heard. So there's something there, but.
Let's be honest. If I said that, it'd be, get off my lawn. So for you to say it, it actually has some teeth, because it's not just a matter of, oh, you're too old to understand how to do it.
I'm 28 years old. I think I'm pretty tech savvy, right? I know how to build a PC, all that different stuff. I get it, right? This is becoming too much. This is becoming a nuisance on my day.
You could do it, but you shouldn't have to, right?
I shouldn't have to. I should just turn on a TV, or it should be on all one platform, right? Why can't HBO Max and all these guys just get together and be like, hey, I got the rights for this, so I get the advertisement rights. It's
collusion?
Not collusion, but you know what I mean. It's just easier access. Only if there was a box that had like different channels that you could turn on, and then, it had a number, right? And then you click in the number, and then the game was there.
Right.
That's something I want.
Yeah. It should be like the Giants button. Whatever they're on, I press it, I'm going to get it because that's what I want to watch.
Yeah. And you, like, as a kid growing up, you memorize the channel that the Giants were on, or the Niners that were on, or whatever, right? Now you got to like do some investigative research.
Channel 2 in the Bay Area.
Now you got to do research to watch a game.
Yeah.
I guarantee you there's going to be more than a handful of Niners fans are like, what? I got to get this? I'm out.
Now, for this game in the Bay Area, isn't it also on over the air? Do they do that still? Yeah. So you have a game on cable. There's some NFL rule that it also has to be available on over
So
the
that
air.
was the case last year. I don't know what the rules are this year, but last year they said if you're in the local market, you have to take the Amazon broadcast and broadcast it on a local
Because
network.
if that's not the case, my mother-in-law is going to be very unhappy tonight in Pacifica trying to watch her 49ers.
I know they're moving away from that at the very least. So if they haven't done it this year, they're getting there. And it's just funneling money into these companies that are paying so much money for these rights, by the way, to get these advertising dollars.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like capitalism times a million. I love capitalism, but at some point you got to like reevaluate some things. And I think at a point in time in my life, and your life too, Whitey, we're going to get there where we're just going to be like, all right, we're done with streaming. We're done. We're going to find other ways to watch sports. Maybe we'll go to the games now.
The scary thing is when Al Davis was still with us around the time that he moved to Los Angeles, there was a lot of talk that, hey, someday the Super Bowl is going to be pay-per-view someday soon. And of course, it's not. And we'll see.
Remember that.
Yes, but a lot of people thought, oh, yeah, that's a done deal.
I remember that.
By now it would be pay-per-view.
DirecTV, when it was at its height, right? And everything was on pay-per-view essentially, right? The biggest fights, all that. And they're still kind of like that. I don't really watch fights as much anymore. I know they're like on ESPN Plus if you're into the UFC MMA scene. But could you imagine it's like a Saturday night and you just want to watch a game and you have to pay for it? It's kind of like what it is with these streaming services. If you don't have the streaming service, you got to take out your credit card. You got to do this whole thing. You got to sign up. You got to give your mother's maiden name.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to make an account just to watch a game. And then you got to remember to cancel the account because you don't want like
that's the tricky part.
$300 charged to your account. Like, oh, I got 10 different subscriptions to like Fubo TV or whatever it is.
I do kind of like that NBA games are a la carte. You can get them a la carte because somebody sued the people that would do like the league pass and season ticket. Someone said when it comes to baseball and basketball, they said, I cannot possibly watch all these games at one time. Therefore, it's illegal for you to sell me the whole package. And they won their case. So they broke it down so that you don't have to buy the whole season. You can buy an individual team or you can buy individual games. So like any NBA game, you can get, if you're, hey, you can get it for like, I don't know, I think it's like $7 or something. That's kind of cool on any given night. If you want to watch, I want to watch the Bucks tonight.
Yeah, I like that. That's a model that I would invest into because now I'm not like having to remember that I have a subscription, right? It's a one-time fee. I'd rather just not pay for it. But if if the service is there, right, it's better than not having it because you have the options, right? I like options, but when you're forced into watching a streaming service, I'm kind of out now.
Right. Help me help you, especially baseball. You need the help.
Oh, baseball.
Trying to help you. Yeah.
More than anything.
Speaking of basketball, I mentioned a former King, Buddy Hield, and a guy who said he wanted to be a King, Dwight Howard. Well, Dwight Howard has had his meetings with the Warriors. So apparently FB, the Warrior veterans have said, yeah, we want to sign this guy. We'll see where that goes. I don't know that it's going to have much of an impact. I think from a King standpoint, yes, you get Dwight Howard. We're good with that. And as far as Buddy Hield goes, Buddy and the Pacers, they haven't come to agreement on an extension. So they are talking about a trade, but nothing's really imminent according to reports. So it looks like maybe there's still some negotiating going on. Like, well, if you are not going to give me more, maybe I want to be traded. Okay, maybe we'll talk about that. So the worst thing about that would be if Buddy Hield ends up on the Lakers, but we're a long ways from that.
Yeah, I want to see him on a contender, right? Because I like Buddy Hield. He's a fun guy to watch, former
Good
Sacramento
shooter.
King, great shooter. I don't want him anywhere near Southern California.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. And by the way, JaVale McGee, wouldn't you much rather have him than Dwight Howard right now?
Yeah, I can't wait. If this Dwight Howard thing works out, I want the Dwight Howard versus JaVale McGee takes every single day. Our guy's better than your guy.
Maybe tomorrow. Maybe we'll have that tomorrow.
Oh, that would be fun, right?
Yes. Coming up next, would you rather be a fan right now of the football Giants or the baseball Giants? Next with FP, Whitey, Sactown Sports.
Can the Niners build off their NFC Championship appearance from last season? How will the quarterbacks perform throughout the year?
Purdy back, now going to throw for the end zone, wide open, Brandon Ayuk is on fire!
Will the defense lead this squad again?
Intercepted! Ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner!
Get all your 49er coverage throughout the NFL season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Attention, all tool shoppers. Get ready for the biggest DeWalt sale event of the year at Fasteners Inc. Sacramento this Saturday, September 23rd. We're bringing you the best deals on DeWalt products you have ever seen for one day only, including impact drivers for $59, combo kits for as low as $179, and up to $2,000 off your order with instant cashback rewards. Again, that's this Saturday only, September 23rd. Come on down and get better tools for better prices at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet. Find us at 6701 Power Inn Road and learn more at fastenersinc.net.
It's no secret to golf enthusiasts that Timber Creek and Sierra Pines in Roseville are one of the region's most unique and scenic places to enjoy a great game of golf. 27 holes, boundless options. Elevate your game on our newly renovated driving range, putting green, and chipping area. Whether you're aiming for fun, lower scores, or all-around growth, we've got you covered. Experience golfing dreams in Roseville and book your tee time at timbercreekgc.com. Timber Creek in Sierra Pines, your ultimate golf haven.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good afternoon, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. We got Thursday Night Football, 49ers against the Giants. We're sending it out to Santa Clara beginning at 4:15 p.m. right here on Sactown Sports. It's almost an hour away. Quick injury report for you guys. Brandon Ayuk is expected to be out for the San Francisco 49ers with a knee injury. And for the New York Giants, they will be without Saquon Barkley, big money left tackle Andrew Thomas, left guard Ben Bredesen, and edge rusher Azeez Ojulari. It is 3 o'clock, which means it's time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. Those are your headlines. Now let's return to the show right here on Sactown Sports.
All right, FP, here's the question. FP Jr. Waddy Gleason with you. The New York Giants taking on the 49ers tonight right here, of course, as Kyle just detailed for you. New York Giants are 1-1. They've scored 31 points. They've given up 68, so to minus 37 net. You've got the New York Giants, and then you have the baseball Giants, who lost a couple games, big games in Arizona. They right now are 76-76, and they're 3 games out of the third wild card, and they have Miami and Cincinnati also between them and the third wild card, currently held by the Cubs. So which of those two teams would you rather be right now? Or which of those teams would you rather be a fan of? The San Francisco Giants or the New York Football Giants?
New York Football Giants.
Really?
Way too early in the season. There's still a lot to play out. You might sneak into a playoff spot if you're the New York Football Giants. San Francisco Giants. Things are looking bleak. It's the end of the year.
Your dad never played for the New York Football Giants.
I know. I'm just saying right now, if you had to choose, you probably want to be a fan of the team that's only 3 games into the season now, starting tonight. There's still hope there, okay? Things don't look fantastic for the New York Football Giants. And I'm looking at the parallels here. It's pretty interesting. The last time they won the Super Bowl was in 2012. San Francisco Giants won in 2012. Their last one was 2014. But ever since 2014 for the Giants, right, it's been up and down. 2016, they had a frisky season. If the Cubs don't win that series, anything could happen. Maybe it's another World Series. But New York Football Giants, same kind of up and down, weird things happening trajectory with that franchise, just like the baseball Giants.
Are you saying Eli Manning is Buster Posey? Is that what?
It's kind of a weird comparison, but kind of, I guess. I don't know.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Let's ask JR here on Sactown Sports. JR, would you rather be a fan right now of the New York Football Giants or the baseball Giants, San Francisco Giants?
Oh, you're killing me with that question. By the way, hello, Junior.
How's it going?
Good. Well, it's hard to listen to the San Francisco Giants because that one announcer, his voice is kind of irritating.
I agree with you. He's the worst.
Yes. Oh, man. I was friends with him when he was at Sac City, when he was a Panther.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Good shout out.
And he played with Jeffries.
Okay.
Greg, who was a Sarah guy. He played with him for years. And then my neighbor played for your dad at Valley. Your grandpa at Valley.
The Santangelos are everywhere. Yep.
Wasn't he a Valley
Yeah, he was a head coach there for a very long time.
Yeah. But Whitey, that is a very difficult question. Of course, no one's going to root for a freaking New York team. What? I am not. No. So, yeah, I would still root for the team that makes me drink a lot every day versus just the Niners one night a week. So
you haven't given up on this season, have you, JR?
I'm not, because I got a couple more games to go to.
There you go.
And I want it to mean something, especially that last Saturday against the freaking Dodgers.
Yeah.
You know what's funny, though, is crappy as I played against these crappy teams? the way their season's going, they're going to rattle off like 3 against the freaking Dodgers, and then, oh, look, they're still breathing. And you're like, oh, look, Cap's actually decent. No, he's not. He's terrible with his analytics. So stop. Get rid of him. He's not Bochy. When are we going to figure that out?
Thanks, JR.
Yeah, thank you, JR.
He touches on something that's interesting. You know better than I because you spend more time in the Bay Area. Giants fans, a lot of Giants fans, are not just upset right now. They are furious for whatever reason. A lot of Giants fans are very, very upset by the current state of things.
They are. And I think it had something to do with Farhan Zaidi coming out and saying, we're going to get a big fish, right? We're going to make a big splash at the trade deadline. He kept on saying these things to the media, saying, this is what we're going to do. And he hasn't delivered yet. On top of that, you have an unorthodox style of baseball where you have a different guy in a different position every night, plays 4 or 5 different positions. You feel like you can't buy a jersey on the team unless it has Webb on the back, right? Just because of all the way they do things with analytics and calling guys up from here, Sacramento, back up to the Bay Area. It's kind of a hard watch just because you just don't know what to expect every night. And they don't really do anything particularly well. So when you have all this stuff going on, you better be good and you better win 107 games like they did that one year. But if you look over, I think it's their last 300 and something games, they're a 500 baseball team. Fans have a reason to be upset. There's not a very watchable product on the field besides when Logan Webb pitches, I think. He's electric, right?
You see what Verducci said about him this week?
I did. Would be one of the most boring teams in the playoffs.
Yes.
And it's hard to disagree with that.
He also said, if this is the future of baseball, I want no part of it.
And I have to agree with that too. There's just nothing you can attach your name to when it comes to the San Francisco Giants, except for Logan Webb. And thank God he's a Sacramento product, right? Because that really helps us attach ourselves to him. But when it comes to other guys on the team, right? And it comes to just so many different roster moves, right? And you have a guy you never heard of gets picked off the waiver wire and he's in the lineup the next day and he puts up a poor at bat. It's difficult to start to defend this team at this point. And I don't know what the Giants are going to do this offseason. I know their owner came out and said, hey, we really support Gabe Kapler. We really support Farhan Zaidi. That's kind of a warning sign to me. Whenever an owner has to say something, something's not going right. I want this team to succeed more than anybody. I'm a Giants fan through and through, born and raised here in Northern California. I even want the A's to win. I've told everybody that on the air. My dad played for both teams, so I have a special place in my heart for both teams. Something's got to change. You either got to go all in with the young guys next year and just be like, hey, no expectations. Don't expect us to really compete. But you get to attach yourself to these really young guys that are going to get a lot of at-bats, a lot of innings pitched. And you know what? You get to watch these young guys develop at the major league level. They might be frustrating, but heck, you know what? You get to be there for the tough times, and then they'll get better and better, and they'll add pieces here and there.
You feel a sense of almost, hey, I was there. That's my guy. I saw it.
Exactly.
And it works.
Like here in Sacramento, you had De'Aaron Fox, right? You saw him get drafted by the team. Even when they had the rough years, there's still De'Aaron Fox, right? And you could see guys starting to kind of come around De'Aaron Fox, and they started to build the team, and then they bring in a coach and all that, and then it just happens.
Right.
That would be great. I think fans would be very receptive to that. I think they would still gripe as much as they do, but probably just a little bit less intense, just because you have something, right? And that you're not Farhan Zaidi really put himself in a corner when he said, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and then just doesn't deliver. I think he's going to take a step back if he does remain with the team and just keep quiet and just let the actions speak for themselves.
Well, it's interesting. It really resonated with me when you were talking about the big fish. And I think of it this way, fans are waiting for dad to bring the fish home. I'm going to get a big fish, kids. We got the aquarium. And then here comes Farhan, and he's got this bag with this little, what is that? It's a Hanniger fish. Well, okay, that, this little fish. And what is that? What's a Rogers fish? Well, I thought you're getting a big fish. Yeah, but we have one just like it over there. See? So fans feel a little bit cheated. And then it's tough this year if you're going to, go after Ohtani because I don't think you're going to get him, but you've got to show your fans we're trying to get him, which means what do you do then if it doesn't work? It's an awkward situation for them. But I think what makes it difficult for the Giants too is right now they don't appear to be all in on winning. They'd like to win, but it's more about the bottom line and being competitive, and contrast that with what's going on with the 49ers and the Warriors and even the Kings now. Those teams want to win. The Warriors will spend any amount. The 49ers, look how much they just spent on one of their own guys. And the Giants, it appears, even though I know last year they tried to get Judge, but it looks like they're not as willing to do that as other teams in the area. And so they look bad by comparison.
They do. When you put the Niners, the Warriors, and the Kings up against the San Francisco Giants, they all have superstars. De'Aaron Fox, in my opinion, is a superstar. You're going to see De'Aaron Fox on commercials this year, okay? During the commercial breaks. You're going to see Steph Curry's everywhere, right? Christian McCaffrey's everywhere. George Kittle's everywhere in commercials.
Brock Purdy has commercials.
Purdy has commercials. Like, these are heavy-hitting names. This is California. At the end of the day, I know we like to separate ourselves from Southern California, but we're Californians at heart, and we like superstars, and we like flashy things. You have to have something flashy on the Giants. They don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
Even the A's, in my opinion, have a lot of exciting young kids to watch. Now, that's a whole nother conversation we have. There's no
Geloff's a player.
He's good. They got some guys over there, and they play hard. I know it kind of dampers the situation when you talk about Las Vegas, or otherwise I would say, oh, for sure, the A's are the better product right now, just because I know that these young kids are going to be around for a little bit, and then you're going to have the typical A's dance where when the contract time comes up, they go away, which is unfortunate. But at least you would have something young to watch, and they got abnormal abilities. I'm not trying to say nobody on the Giants has that, but as a collective unit in the way that they operate, it's just really, really hard to watch. And I'll be completely honest on air right now. I've been invited to go to Giants games. My dad's like, hey, let's go watch a Giants game together, blah, blah, blah. Get us some tickets. And I just say, it's kind of a far drive. I don't know if I want to do it. And it's not a knock like on the players themselves, because I'm sure if you put the players on different teams, they'd be great. It's just this collective unit and the way that things are run. It's just really tough to watch. And it's not worth my time. There's just too much. I can watch Netflix, the other things.
We really saw that, and I didn't get to see the game yesterday because we were on the air, but the night before against Arizona and the Diamondbacks, and they're hitting triples and stealing bases, and they're athletic and they're running all over the place, and the Giants just look kind of flat. And sometimes you're flat. We always say, oh, they're not trying hard. And sometimes it's not that you're not trying hard. It's just you just don't have the athletic ability as the other team. And then they beat you with their athleticism, and you look flat by comparison. And they just look flat far too often in the second half of the season.
They do, and they have a lot of injuries. So a lot of people don't talk about the injuries aspect of this season. I think it played a major role. But I think you also have a lot of puzzle pieces that just don't fit with one another. And it just makes a really tough product to watch.
Mm-hmm. Brandon Crawford, by the way, you pointed out to me he's going on the IL. So is that it for Brandon Crawford as a Giant?
It's looking like it, which is very unfortunate. 3-time All-Star, 2-time World Series champion, 4-time Gold Glove winner, Silver Slugger, Bay Area native. I mean, he just lives and breathes Giants. When I think about the San Francisco Giants, I think about Brandon Crawford, and just it's such an unfortunate way to end his career with the Giants if this is true. I'm hoping that they'll do something for him, but with this regime, I don't really know.
And the last link to those winning teams.
Yeah, I don't know what he wants to do. I don't know if he still wants to compete after this year, if he's going to sign with another club, but I hope one day this is one of those one-day contract situations where he could come back and get his roses and have a huge ceremony, because they're going to do a lot for him. They might retire his number. They might do a lot of different things. He's going to go in the Wall of Fame for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the most famous, if not the most famous shortstops in San Francisco Giants history.
Coming up next, guess what? The 49ers, they're going to score a lot of points tonight. Tell you why next year. It's FP Jr. and it's Whitey, Sactown Sports.
It's Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
When Joe Montana retired, he was, of course, regardless what? The greatest of all time. Many in this area, of course, and bless you if you're one of them, still consider Joe Montana the greatest of all time. Whatever.
Is that what people from Boston sound like to you?
I mean, 4-0's 4-0.
It's Whitey and Watkins from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sactown Sports.
When my daughter gets a cold, I have a secret weapon. DayQuil Kids Berry from Vicks. DayQuil Kids is specially formulated to treat kids' most bothersome cold and cough symptoms quickly. And the best part is that DayQuil Kids Berry tastes really great. Aren't you supposed to be resting? Maybe.
DayQuil Kids Berry. The kids' berry-licious daytime congestion, coughing, stuffy head, stuffy nose, just for kids medicine. Safe for kids 6 years plus.
When your people are ready, your business is ready. Cintas makes sure they have what they need to perform their best. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, fire protection systems that are tested and inspected, first aid and safety supplies, floor mats, or cleaning tools and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together, so visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Sactown Sports.
Buddy Gleason, FP Santangelo. FP Santangelo says you should be cautious about tonight's 49er game. 49ers and Giants, of course. And, of course, he knows it's from a sports family, a real sports family, where you always respect the opponent.
Respect the opponent. Respect the players. They dedicated their life to a craft. So this is not just going to be an easy situation. And, heck, what do I know? Maybe they end up scoring like 40 points in the first half. Maybe it's like the most disgusting, gross game of all time where they're running up the score by 80 points. I don't think Kyle Shanahan's going to do that, but what do I know? But I've always had suspicions and superstitions where if something just seems too good, it's like you were telling me, it's too quiet in here, right? Something's about to happen.
It's almost too quiet. Yeah.
Things are too good right now for the Niners organization. So as a fan, you got to just be careful here. You don't want to pop off too much. Just let the actions speak for themselves. And after the game, go crazy. But for right now, everybody's picking the Niners by a lot.
Yeah.
And it has to do with the injuries. Okay. Andrew Thomas, left tackle, out. Saquon Barkley, running back, out. Makes a lot of sense on paper. But this is still the NFL. And it's a Thursday night football game. How many weird things have happened on a Thursday night football game?
I was going to ask you, in your opinion, Thursday's kind of an equalizer because of a shorter week. So
shorter week. Guys don't have like when you have a physical team, and I would be curious to ask a football player this. When you have a physical team like the 49ers.
I played Pop Warner. Go ahead.
When you have a physical team like the 49ers and you have a quick turnaround, like do they benefit or more, how do I put this?
Is it more?
Do
of a
they
disadvantage?
suffer? Yeah. Do they suffer more from being a more physical team with these quick turnarounds?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're banged up, right? They're really setting blocks. They're hitting hard. They're physical. They're taking shots. When you have the quick turnaround on Thursday, does that put you as a disadvantage as a team?
It's a great question. No one would ever admit that, but that doesn't mean it's not true. You're right.
Yeah.
No one's going to say, you're right. I'm so sore. We don't have a chance tonight. I wish I wasn't playing. But there's probably some truth to that. It's probably marginal, but I bet there's something to it.
Because when I think about the New York Giants, I don't think about a team that's like trying to crush somebody, that's trying to hit people. I'm sure they have guys, like individual players, but as a culture and as a team, I don't think about them trying to like just land a huge hit on people or trying to set up a block.
Part of that's because they can't. They're not good enough. Like I said earlier, they allow 2 yards rushing before contact. Their defense allows 2 yards before they even hit anybody. So you can't be physical.
You said it earlier. They were 32 out of 32 in rush defense last year.
That was 2.5 yards before contact. Let me ask you this. You can guess here. You take New York Giants this year, total number of sacks for them, total number of interceptions, total number of forced fumbles. What do you think we got? What's your guess? Not that you would know this.
This season?
Yeah, right. And yeah, 2 games in.
Okay.
Total number of sacks, total number of INTs, total numbers of forced fumble.
Okay. 1 interception, 3 sacks, forced fumble, none.
Okay.
What's the other stats?
That was it. That was it. Okay. Sacks, 0, interception, 0, forced fumble, 1.
Oh my goodness. Of course, the other 2 are 0.
So that's why I'm saying, well, no, there's no way anyone would know that. But my point is the 49ers, unless they are banged up, unless somebody's not feeling well, they're going to score a lot of points tonight against this defense.
They should, and they should blow them out. That's why I'm just a little bit concerned about this game. Nothing's a gimme at the highest level. It really isn't. I mean, how many times have the A's beat a team this year where they're expected to lose? They traded everybody away, and they ended up, I think, they swept a team this year. Was it the Astros or something? It was a really good
winning
team.
Tampa.
It was Tampa.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah.
And
Didn't
they have like a 6 or 7 game winning streak at one point?
Yeah. So I know it's a different sport and whatever. But how many times have we seen even in college football an upset happen? And this is like another level completely. These are really elite athletes. So you got to be careful. Like if I hear tomorrow when we come back on, because I'll be here tomorrow with you, that the 49ers didn't win by enough, I'm going to lose my mind.
Here's, I think, the only way the 49ers lose this game. It's a bit of an oversimplification, but I think ultimately, pardon me, it comes down to this. You look at their last 27 games. I think Tim Kawakami wrote about this a few weeks ago. Their last 27 games, when they win the turnover battle, the 49ers are 22-0, and when they don't, they're 0-5. So, if, fumble, weird bounce of the ball, all of a sudden they've lost 2 fumbles, even though the Giants don't get a lot of interceptions.
No.
A funny bounce off somebody's helmet, a pick 6 or something, you're in a hole. But that's the only way I think it could happen, other than injury.
I seem like I'm the only one that remembers the past 2 seasons when they lost to the Chicago Bears, when they were losing to, what was the other horrible team they lost to? They lost to another really bad team. I think it was
Arizona's beaten
the Commanders or the football team or something like that. They've lost to some pretty bad teams before early in the season, just because of those weird aspects of the game. I know rain was one of the causes where there just wasn't a lot of offense and the defense was all discombobulated because of just the mud on the field and all that. But things can happen in the NFL. All right. There's a reason why we don't just hit the simulator mode on this game and we just go on to next week. You got to play the games. So please be very wary as a Niners fan. If you have a friend that's a New York Giants fan, right? You can chirp a little bit. But don't go like, oh, dude, this is going to be 80-0 tonight. And knowing New York, knowing New York sports fans, they're going to be like, yeah, probably, right? But if you give them anything tonight, be careful. A follow-up question this, though, Whitey, and maybe we could talk about this more tomorrow. If the 49ers don't win 40-0, does that rub you the wrong way that the Cowboys did and the Niners didn't?
It just depends how it happens.
Okay.
And the 49ers aren't necessarily built that way. Like I said, my expectation would be they build up a lead tonight. Then in the second half, I'm a believer in you don't run to win. You win to run. In other words, people look at winning teams. Oh, they run the ball. So you got to run the ball. That's how you win. No, teams, they're winning and then they run the ball. That's why winning teams run the ball a lot. That's part of it. You get ahead, and then the second half, you're just pounding the rock. So I expect the 49ers to do a lot of that tonight, which then means you're not taking as many shots downfield. You win comfortably, but you don't put up a 40-burger.
Yeah, but what if the Niners end up just going straight air raid with Brock Purdy tonight out of nowhere? Because that's how Kyle Shanahan thinks sometimes. He's going to run the ball. Okay, this is like we're talking about the run defense. It's horrible. They're going to run the ball. But how funny would it be if they just said, no, we're going to just
Jawan Jennings, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's what they do.
That's what worries me about the last game. And I'm a huge Brock Purdy guy. And I've, defended on this show. People come at me about Brock Purdy. It's like, no, you don't know what you're looking at. But the fact that he missed not 1, not 2, but 3 deep shots last week, that was a little concerning to me.
I think he can make adjustments, though. I really do. I think he's going to make that adjustment, and we're going to see that more in his game moving forward. It's early in the season, and at this level, athletes make adjustments. I think I didn't have a chance to talk about the game that happened on Sunday against the Rams. I think the Rams are a lot better team than people think. I think that's a team that you need to kind of keep your eye on. They have a good receiver now, and they're going to get Cooper Kupp back. That's 2 deadly weapons for Matthew Stafford. That offense is nice. I know they just traded Cam Akers away. I don't think that's a huge thing for them.
No, I don't think so.
But their defense is there. I mean, anytime you have Aaron Donald on your defense, you're going to be pretty decent. That's a sneaky team. You got to be careful with that one. Circle them. And I think that's probably going to be one of the biggest opponents, maybe in the NFC West. But you can't sleep on those guys. I was impressed. I don't know about you guys, but I was impressed with the Rams. And I think that was a good heat check for the Niners, that they were able to have a really average game and still pull out a win.
I think that touches on one of the absolute keys tonight, because the 49ers, until the second half, they didn't get a lot of pressure on Stafford. And some of that was the Rams, their strategy. They threw a lot of short passes, and then the 49ers started blitzing more in the second half. They got more pressures. With that line, as much as they're paying some of those guys, specifically Bosa, you could argue, well, they shouldn't have to blitz, but they did. But Nick Bosa, no sacks, and the 49ers against this weakened offensive line, I think they really need to show up tonight and really need to show out.
They do. They do need to have an above average game just because of everything considered. I mean, the Bosa contract. I saw some really weird things on social media where people are like, oh, he's not earning his money. It's like, okay, calm down. It's really early in the season, all right? He's going to get there. Tonight, he has
They are getting pressure. They aren't getting sacks, but they're getting pressure.
Yeah, pressures are still important, guys. All right, I know sacks are the sexy stat, but pressures are a huge deal in the NFL, okay? They got to do well. The D-line's got to eat tonight. If they don't eat, we're going to have an interesting conversation tomorrow. I think if the Niners play a below-average game, they should win tonight. If they play an average game, they win pretty steadily. If they have a great game, it's going to be ugly for the Giants. But if the Giants perform very well, higher than standards, and then maybe a weird bounce happens here or there, now we have a game. Now we have a situation. Now we're all going, oh, dang it. I just wanted to relax and have a beer and just watch the game and watch my Niners show out. Now I got to worry about a 14-14 game heading into halftime. Oh,
I understand your point, and it's a good one. And I know you're saying, it's unlikely, but the Giants could be competitive. Here's why I don't think they will be. And I know you don't think they will be either, but I think it comes down to this. You mentioned recent years, the 49ers with tough losses early in the year. And I think they've really learned from those. Even a couple of years ago, they started 2-0, and I think they lost their next 3. And then they paid for that. The last couple of years, they've paid for those slow starts at the end of the year, because you're playing those big games on the road. And I think they know that for what it's worth. And I think they've realized we have to take care of our business against these. They may be bad teams, but these games really matter early in the year. So one of the reasons that a Giants team maybe would pull an upset tonight is if the 49ers overlook them. And right now, I don't think the 49ers they're not going to do that with anybody.
Yeah, that's a great point you make, Whitey, because think about how valuable those games would have been towards the later part of the season. If you could have just thrown those games away and rested some guys, maybe just start them in the first quarter and just give them some rest. Now we're talking about maybe the playoffs looking completely different.
And maybe home field in some of those.
And then think about this too. In the early part of their schedule, they have the Dallas Cowboys and they have the Philadelphia Eagles, and that could very well just decide the NFC early on in the season for the first seed. They could. So they got to be ready. So that bodes well for tonight for sure.
Coming up next is tonight a statement game for Mr. Irrelevant with FP Jr., Whitey Gleason, and Sactown Sports.
What's the latest with the San Francisco 49ers? Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross keep you up to date on all things red and gold during the Niners at 9 every weekday at 9 a.m. on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Thursday forecast will include hazy sunshine and occasional north breeze, and temperatures this afternoon down slightly. Daytime highs expected in the lower 80s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down in a heartbeat. So remember to be a little more alert on the road and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
Sometimes progress toward global net zero can be hard to see, invisible even. Like how Chevron is targeting 25 million tons of CO2 per year in storage and offsets by 2030. While at the same time, working with partners to reduce the cost of carbon capture and scale the technology to other industries like cement, innovating toward lower carbon solutions today while helping others do the same for the future. That's energy in progress. Visit chevron.com/carbon capture.
Feel the thunder. It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
It's a new era in entertainment. Experience legendary performers like never before. All new and all incredible. This is the venue. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder. Feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTR-CM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When every shot counts, the professionals at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio encourage you to try the brand new Titleist T-Series irons. Irons designed to enhance your play through control, distance, flight, forgiveness, looks, sound, and feel. With 4 T-Series models, the fitting team at Hagen Oaks will find the perfect Titleist T-Series iron for you. Call 916-808-2531 to find your fit today. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway, or online at hagenoaks.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
It's time now for the Silver and Black Report, brought to you by ACR Solar and Home Services. Well, for the second straight week, the Silver and Black will be playing a team coming off a Monday night game. Last week, it was Buffalo. This week, it's Pittsburgh. And speaking of their longtime rivals, you expect fireworks? Well, maybe not, because the Raiders offense, 30 out of 32. Pittsburgh, 31 out of 32. Either way, each team needs a victory, as both are searching for win number 2 on the season. That is your Silver and Black Report, brought to you by ACR Solar and Home Services. Did you hear about ACR Solar's free home battery special? Well, for a limited time, get a free LG Chem 10H home battery with a minimum purchase of 12 solar panels. Now, you'll own the system outright with no leasing involved. The offer includes 10-year parts and labor warranty for your added security and peace of mind. Take advantage of a 30% tax credit on your solar panel purchase, as the offer is limited to the first 100 customers only. Visit acrsolar.com to get the offer. The number 916-481-7200.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with 0 down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com. 0
down with approved credit.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good afternoon, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. We're just 2 hours away from the 49ers and Giants playing Thursday night football. We're sending it out to Santa Clara beginning at 4:15 right here on Sactown Sports 1140 and the Sactown Sports app. Quick injury report for you. 49ers wide receiver Brandon Ayuk is expected to be out tonight with a knee injury. And the New York Giants will be without running back Saquon Barkley, big money left tackle Andrew Thomas, left guard Ben Brenderson, and edge rusher Azeez Ojulari. It is 3:32, which means it's time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. Also, all guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Now we're back for another 45 minutes here on Sactown Sports.
Why do you always give it to sports? Sactown Sports. Where's that? Where's that come from?
I'm just entertaining myself back here.
Okay.
You know, we got to spice. Over the months, I've done 100 of these headlines, 200 of these headlines. We got to keep it spicy.
Gotcha.
Whitey.
Yes, sir.
I know we have a short show today, but can I kind of spoil the guest list for tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, so we got Adam Rank coming on tomorrow, which is going to be fun of NFL Network. Obviously known around here in these parts for selling the Niners short that one season they went to the Super Bowl. But he's awesome. He's really fun to talk about. He's a Bears fan and an Angels fan. So he's got it really bad right now, but great national perspective. Really funny guy.
Bad combination.
And
you got to have a sense of humor if you're a Bears fan and an Angels fan.
Yeah. So, I mean, you have to, or else you're just going to be miserable. So I'm excited to have him on. He's always great. And then I just booked this guy. His name is FP Santangelo for tomorrow.
The major leaguer guy?
Yeah, he had an okay career.
He was an Expo, I remember.
Oh, yeah. They were a team. Yeah, but he's going to join us tomorrow. So
awesome.
Yeah, so
That'll
we're
be
gonna
fun.
so we're gonna have my pops
That's
on.
great.
I didn't want to ever pull that trump card, just for full disclosure, because I'm like, come on, having your dad on, I get it.
See, I was going to ask you, but I was kind of reluctant to ask you about that.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it, but I thought it's a good time with having you. You have history with them. It makes a lot of sense, and it'll be fun. It'll be like old times. So.
Awesome. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
On the text line here, let's see if we have any nominees for the text or YouTube chat comment of the day. Okay, FB.
Okay.
Any of these you like? Great. If not, fine. And then we'll get to how tonight could be a statement night for Mr. Irrelevant. We were talking about streaming a couple segments ago from the 530 Easy Boomers. It's called technology. What?
I'm 28.
He's not a boomer.
I'm Gen Z back here.
Okay, do you agree then, Kyle? Do you agree with me about all the streaming services and just too many apps?
However, I don't buy all the streaming services, so it's less of a problem for me. I'm
Kyle,
less.
Don't tell on
into
yourself. Don't tell
No,
on yourself.
I don't watch a lot of TV and movies, so the only thing I use it for is live sports, and live sports isn't on a lot of streaming right now. You kind of have to have either cable or YouTube TV.
See, I would have never gone there for that reason, because then it's like, yeah, get off my lawn. But FP's only 28, so he's not a boomer. How about this on the YouTube chat? We have from Peter Daly. Farhan is the issue. Kapler has done the best he can with the trash rosters he's been given. We have this from Dwayne Baker. What if the Niners show off for their fans tonight? And my final nominee here, Manny Too Legit, who says, I'm having a tuna salad for lunch.
Oh, very good. I think Manny has a shtick where he always lets us know his lunch, so I appreciate that.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, we could talk about that Farhan one and Gabe Kapler. There's an argument there, right? And a manager can only do so much with the roster he's given, but I think it's kind of a tandem deal, right? That's Farhan's guy. Yes. They're going to either be together or they're going to go together.
Most awkward introductory press conference in the history of introductory press conferences. Am I right?
Yeah, I remember that now. I kind of wiped that from my memory just because of some weird cover up with the Dodgers.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that was really, really awkward. And I think that kind of set the tone of just like.
Yeah, but then, and you mentioned it, and you know better now, they win 107, and everyone is like, this is great. We're ahead of schedule. And I think that's one reason why Giants fans, some of them are angry. A lot of fans assumed at that point, we're ahead of schedule. The young players are coming. We beat the Dodgers, at least during the regular season. And now we're right there with the Dodgers. We're going to compete with the Dodgers. And no, that's not where it was.
No.
It's disappointing.
It's kind of interesting where you have a Giants organization that was very old school, right, with Bruce Bochy, right? And every single Giants fan was like, okay, listen, we got to get into the analytics. The Dodgers are kicking our butts. They have a young kid coming up every night, either they're throwing 100 or hitting a ball 500 feet. We got to get into the new age. So the Giants go out and they get somebody that is very innovative, very new age. Cutting edge.
It's called technology, boomers.
They go out and get a guy like that, right? And now Giants fans are like, whoa. We need to go back to that old school way. I'm sick and tired of all these analytics. What do you want? And I think what they want is something, a little bit of marriage of both, right? I think the Giants did overcorrect in this particular situation. And maybe Farhan is learning right now. And if he's given another chance, he's going to go back a little bit. Like he's going to involve more of the old school mentality into that Giants organization. And I think that's where they're going to find a lot more success, where you're going to have guys playing every single day. You're going to have guys that you're familiar with and not just plug and play kind of fantasy baseball that we've been seeing.
Because some of the way the Giants do things are not as relatable, especially for older fans. And then when it's not as relatable and it doesn't work, then it's like, oh, this is terrible.
Yeah, just completely horrible. No, it's a tough watch. It's unfortunate. You got to remember the injuries, though. I keep on going back to the injuries because I see the frustration with the fan base with Gabe Kapler and Farhan Zaidi. But if there's no injuries in all this situation, and there's an argument there that Farhan went to go get out injury-prone players this offseason. So I get it from that standpoint, too. But if these injuries don't happen and everything goes, quote-unquote, according to plan, I think we're having a different conversation now. I think the Giants are up in the wild card standings. And I think we're going, okay, cool. Giants are in the playoffs. Let's see what happens. But now it's looking pretty bleak, to say the least.
Still not out of it, technically,
Yep.
mathematically. And they're all about math, so who knows?
Yep.
How about tonight? Brock Purdy. Last game, the numbers were good. He wasn't great. that's probably the worst game he's had as a 49er, which says a lot because he was still pretty good. But because he wasn't great, his streak of victories with 2 or more touchdown passes ended. Is tonight in any way a statement game for Brock Purdy, in your opinion?
I think he's got to come out, and I think he's got to throw some touchdown passes. I really do, just because you do have a weakened offense in the New York Giants, right? And I think this particular fan base is a little sensitive to deep passes just because of the Jimmy Garoppolo era went that one particular Super Bowl pass, but just the lack of the deep ball. So I think there's got to be something there, and hopefully Kyle Shanahan comes out and really is confident in his run game so much that he scripts a lot of passing plays in the beginning. We were talking about that, between commercial breaks. I would love to see Brock Purdy let one rip. I wouldn't care if he threw if it's 3rd down and 10 or 3rd and 7, right? Deep ball, just throw a punt, essentially. Like throw a 50-50 ball up. I'd love to see that from Brock Purdy. I'd like to see that from Kyle Shanahan, just to show that, hey, we have confidence that in our defense, first and foremost, that, okay, whatever. This is just basically a punt, not a big deal. And you give confidence to Brock Purdy that he can throw the long ball and the wide receiver core.
Hello. Yes.
I thought that was an earthquake for a second. I was like, oh my God.
Have you ever been on the air during an earthquake?
Probably. It's probably too small, but yeah, earthquakes are crazy. I've been here for a power outage here at Sactown Sports, and I've been here for one of our, I think, control rooms wasn't working. So
when all the commercials stopped playing.
Yeah, for an hour for
that's
everybody.
Not good.
Yeah, Zeta went down, and you guys just had to talk for an hour straight.
Yeah, I think it was me and Kyle Draper for an hour on air just talking.
All right.
So
no earthquake. I mean, the air's not great here because of the fires and the Oregon border, but no earthquake. Didn't you say, Kyle, that the Giants are starting 2 rookie corners tonight?
That is correct.
Yeah.
One of them's a first-round pick, so he should be starting. It's Deontay Banks. Their second corner is Trey Hawkins III, a 6th-round pick.
I would not be surprised if the 49ers come out throwing and challenging those corners.
I would like to see that. I want to see a more aggressive offense from Kyle Shanahan, to be quite honest, because there's so many weapons, and I know they play a very physical and aggressive style when it's after the catch, right? But they don't really send receivers downfield. They don't really create those big dynamic plays. They kind of just happen after the catch.
Isn't that the coolest thing? Because Miami runs a very similar system, but with a different emphasis. The emphasis that you just raised.
Yeah, because they have a guy named Tyreek Hill that can burn anybody around the corner. And I would love just to see something like that eventually. I think this is the perfect time tonight to do that. If they don't have a deep ball scripted in their first 15 plays, I'm going to be disappointed as a Niners fan, because this is the time that they can gash with the run game. This is one of the worst run defenses in football.
Right.
This is the time and place to just fool around with it and build Brock Purdy's confidence.
Mm-hmm. It's funny that you mentioned about, everyone thinks of that. When you see the overthrow, you think of the Super Bowl. Everybody did, right? With the 3 overthrows last week, everyone flashed back on Jimmy Garoppolo and Emmanuel Sanders.
Yep.
Yeah. Every 49er fan flashed back on that moment. That's how deeply burned into our memories that is.
And I hate to say this, but I don't think that's ever going to go away.
I think you're right.
I think that's going to be kind of a forever play. And I think the only way that kind of erases it, if something similar happens in a Super Bowl, where they actually make the catch.
Right.
And then you go, oh my goodness, the curse is broken, right? 4th quarter, a deep ball for a touchdown. It finally happened.
Yes.
And then we can all just celebrate in the streets and go crazy. But until then,
until that happens,
we could even see that during a game and go for a touchdown in the regular season. We'll be like, I wish that was in the Super Bowl.
Right.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Can't miss on 3 of them, though, in this offense.
Nope.
Everything's setting up those shots. When you get the shot downfield, you got to connect. You miss once, you miss twice, miss 3 times. That ain't working.
I think he could fix it. I think he could do it. I think the ability's there. I think he's going to do it.
Yep, I'm with you. Coming up next, as good as he is as a coach, let's not forget how great Prime was as a player. Today's a big Prime anniversary. You won't believe what he did on this date years ago, actually to the Giants. That's next here with FP and Whitey on Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Heather Waldman in the KCRA Weather Center. Friday's the first day of fall. It's going to feel like it, too. A cool breeze in the morning with temperatures starting in the 50s. We'll end up in the low 80s with lots of sun. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
You know what time it is. It's time to trade up to a brand new Kia at Folsom Lake Kia. Trade up to the newest technology with a low payment. Shop Folsom Lake Kia, family owned for over 20 years.
Safe Credit Union is our local community-based financial partner, and they are committed to the well-being of their members. Jason Ross here, and we all work hard to reach our financial goals, and banking with Safe helps make that a reality. Because with Safe, you always get competitive rates on savings and loans so you can spend less and save more for your future. If you're not a member yet, give Safe a try and discover all that truly makes Safe one of the best credit unions in California. Join today at safecu.org/join. Safe Credit Union is insured by NCUA.
Did you know addiction to drugs like meth or cocaine is a disease and not a choice? But getting help is. If you have stimulant use disorder, you, your family, and friends may have a lot of questions, including where to start. Choose Change California can help. Make a change today and find a proven treatment option for you at choosechangeca.org.
At Bank of America, there's one question we ask our customers to learn what matters most. It's not, how much money do you have? It's not even, how much money would you like to have? No, our question isn't about money. It's about you and what you want to achieve. Because that's what's most important. So, what would you like the power to do? Bank of America. Bank of America N.A. member FDIC, equal credit opportunity lender.
As a mom, I'd do anything to keep my child out of physical pain. As a doctor, I know that growth spurts can cause pain in my child's feet, and that can affect their legs and back too.
This is Dr. Pamela Maida, a board-certified orthopedic surgeon.
Children especially benefit from arch supports as a sturdy and supportive foundation for their developing feet. If your kids have pain, then I recommend Youth Arch Supports from the Good Feet store.
Youth Arch Supports are designed to alleviate, even eliminate common pain in the feet, knees, hip, or back. If your child is physically active with sports, clubs, or even on the playground, they may benefit from the comfort and support found in Good Feet Youth Arch Supports.
I firmly believe that investing in Youth Arch Supports for your child or teen is one of the best decisions you can make to support their feet.
See how Youth Arch Supports can help with a free arch support fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville.
It's the model year-end sales event at Acura of Stockton. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Lease a new Acura RDX or MDX. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton or AcuraofStockton.com, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network. One of the big assignments for the A's front office going into the offseason will be how to set up the 40-man roster, especially when you consider the A's have used 61 players this year, including 40 pitchers and 21 rookies, the latest being the right-hander Joe Boyle, who fired 3 innings of shutout baseball, making his major league debut in the recent series against the Padres. Ken Korak here, introducing you to the Xfinity 10G network. Xfinity is undergoing a multi-year network evolution, giving you a powerful connection today while building toward a faster, more reliable tomorrow. The Xfinity 10G network gives you the fastest internet with even faster speeds rolling out all the time. You also get a consistent and reliable connection when everyone's online, even during peak hours. That's a home run. If you want to learn more, go online at xfinity.com/10G.
Attention, all tool shoppers. Get ready for the biggest DeWalt sale event of the year at Fasteners Inc. Sacramento this Saturday, September 23rd. We're bringing you the best deals on DeWalt products you've ever seen for one day only, including impact drivers for $59, combo kits for as low as $179, and up to $2,000 off your order with instant cashback rewards. Again, that's this Saturday only, September 23rd. Come on down and get better tools for better prices at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet. Find us at 6701 Power Inn Road and learn more at fastenersinc.net.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
I see that Joe Burrow is day-to-day with his calf injury. That could impact the Niners because there was some chatter that if he was going to be out a while, the Bengals might talk to the Niners about something involving Brandon Allen. They might want to bring him back.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, because he was there and he knows the system and everything. But obviously, if Burrow's going to be out a while, I think they're done anyway because they're 0-2. So it wouldn't matter who they brought in.
Yeah, and they have, I think, a pretty tough schedule in the beginning of the year with a lot of division games, I want to say.
They lost one of them.
They play the Rams on Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, and they've lost 2 division games already.
Yeah, so that's a tough one. Joe Burrow's one of my favorite players that's not a 49er. He's just a lot of fun to watch. I love his demeanor. That's a tough injury. He was trying to grind out, like, through an injury the first 2 games of the season. Clearly wasn't healthy. So that's a tough situation if you're a Bengals fan. Just a tough situation if you're a football fan, because if you don't really like Joe Burrow, I don't really get your deal. Because he's just he doesn't hurt anybody. He's fun to watch.
Right.
To answer your question on Bengals schedule, they got Rams at Titans, at Cardinals, then Seahawks, 49ers, Bills.
Okay, so it seems like they actually have a little bit of time to maybe mess around with the backup QB and win a few games.
Yeah, they started last year 0-2 and made the playoffs, but that's not something you want to try again. Obviously, they're going to have to now. They're 0-2. Also, Trayvon Diggs out for the season. The Cowboys corner tore his ACL today, and young quarterbacks have been having a tough week health-wise as well.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Richardson, concussion protocol. I believe, who is the Bryce Young for the Carolina Panthers. I think it's an ankle injury, and he's not
Get that red rifle ready.
Yeah, he's not officially ruled out, but he's not expected to play Sunday.
You're not an Andy Dalton guy?
Andy Dalton. Okay, can I just say something? This is so ridiculous of me, but to see Andy Dalton in that Carolina blue is going to be weird because he's got a red head. He's like the reddest of redheads. That red, when he takes off his helmet with the blue jersey or whatever they're wearing, is going to be jarring.
He was, because they played that Monday night game, the first Monday night game, and he was like their 4th down quarterback. It is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. He was like their designated 4th down quarterback. I don't know.
It sounds like a sweet gig to me. I'll be your 4th down quarterback. Don't expect much.
Yeah.
I'll do something.
Especially that team. We're going to punt anyway. You don't need me for that.
Yeah, I can throw a ball as far as I can for maybe 20 yards and throw an interception if you need me to. If you can't throw, or you can't kick it within anywhere, I don't know.
You were telling me that we have some new information on Taylor Swift, and
yeah, it's I think it's been confirmed that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are dating, which is pretty interesting. And I want to know what dating means nowadays, because I've been out of the game for a little bit. I've been with my partner now for 3 years, and we got married. So I don't dating. I think when I was in my 20s, it meant a bunch of different things. It meant like you're going out and you're doing some fun stuff. Maybe you're going to see a movie or something like that. But
could it be they went out once and they're like, hey, maybe we'll do it again? Are they dating if that's the case?
I think,
is that dating?
I think it kind of is, but like celebrity dating is different than normal human dating. Does that make sense? Because I feel like dating for them is like, oh no, like we've hung out like twice. This is like official.
Right.
Whereas like normal human beings, it's like, oh, I'll go on a date with this person. I'll see if I like them. I'll go on a date with that person. You're not dating per se until you make things official. I don't think Taylor Swift and them have made it official, but they said like, yeah, we are dating.
Jason Kelce said this week is yes. He said, yeah, I believe it, which like, well, he would know, wouldn't he? You would think his brother, Travis Kelce's brother, but he said, I believe it. And then this is what Travis Kelce said today when he was talking to McAfee about the Taylor Swift situation.
No, I mean, it's life, baby. It's life. I threw it out there. I threw the ball in her court. And, I told her, maybe I've seen you rock the stage in Arrowhead. You might have to come see me rock the stage in Arrowhead and see which one's a little more lit. So we'll see what happens in the near future.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like
as far as he would go.
Yeah, that's as far as you go. I think it's funny.
How do we have confirmation? That's not really confirmation, is it?
It's not.
That's confirmation.
Well, they were seen or something like that. I think Taylor Swift came out and said, "Yeah, he's a charming man," and yes, we have been texting. Taylor Swift's PR team is amazing because she's always seemed like this innocent teenager, even into her 30s, which is nuts to me. Like at 33, most of us has gone through some rough life events, right? We've had a bad relationship or something. She's had a couple because she's written a lot of songs about her bad relationships, but she's got this like innocence about her. I cannot see just an absolute fiend in Travis Kelce, who had Catching Kelce, a dating show, which was one of the most just ridiculous shows ever. It was like your typical MTV dating show. Date a Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Travis Kelce's at the top of his celebrity right now, and Taylor Swift is too. So it makes sense, but
maybe
how
that's
funny.
It.
Yeah, maybe that is it.
It's like, I'll do it, but you can't tell anybody we're dating.
Yeah. So when FP Senior was my father was on the A's and was on the Giants, he was playing baseball, and especially he had a year at the Dodgers. Okay, he had a year at the Dodgers.
He went to Rachel Hunter's house. He did. He told me.
He
did.
He
never told you that story?
Probably not. No,
okay.
Not yet.
Yeah. It was a big party. I'm not saying it was anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did tell me about a big party at a particular star's house.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that star.
Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't your typical actress. Let's just put it that way. And he was with the Oakland A's. But all these players secretly date celebrities. Like they are like moving around stealthily, which is very interesting. Single guys just not trying to get in the spotlight. So I always felt like that was an interesting dynamic. And at what point do you make your relationship public? Right? Mm-hmm. I heard one of his teammates was dating Madonna at the time. I know Jose Canseco dated Madonna at one point.
Yes. That was divulged by, was that by her? I'm trying to remember. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Actually, made that public.
Yeah, but it's really interesting when you have like two pop culture worlds collide. I mean, Taylor Swift cannot be more different than NFL football.
Didn't A-Rod have some sort of designation with Madonna as well?
I think so. I want to say you're right. A-Rod a lot. And then Derek Jeter was the king of this conversation. It was like another A1, the it girl every single week. And then he was like, oh, no, it was just a month fling, blah, blah, blah. Like it was never a dating thing. It was like gift baskets.
Right.
Whatever. But I mean, if you look at his dating diamond, Derek Jeter in particular, it's ridiculous. It's probably one of the most stacked rosters I've ever seen. Got to tip your cap to the captain. But yeah, I was thinking about this. And Whitey, what is like the most, I don't know, famous celebrity couple with an athlete ever?
Can you top DiMaggio, Marilyn Monroe?
That's pretty good.
Obviously, that's cool. I don't pretend to remember that, but I know of it.
Those are two icons.
Yes.
So we're talking
to this day.
Yeah, to this day. I'm gonna throw you one that's pretty modern, but unfortunately, they're not together. I think Tom Brady and Giselle.
Yes.
Or Gisele, as they say in Brazil. I think those were like the two power couple where it's ridiculous. Because Tom Brady is Tom Brady and Giselle is international. She is known everywhere.
Yeah, that's probably the topper. Yeah.
I don't know though. Joe DiMaggio and Marilyn Monroe. I think that wins. They're my number one. And then maybe
tomorrow
Tom Brady.
We can make that a poll question.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, we'll do that tomorrow. Coming up next, as promised, this date in Deion's history, what he did to the Giants, and how Christian McCaffrey can make 49er history tonight. Next year, we're taking you right up to pregame Giants and 49ers on Sactown Sports.
Has Monty put together a roster that can help make a deep playoff run this season?
Just trying to give coach options, give him guys that can help us win in a variety of areas. Obviously, our top guys are going to play every game, but there's going to be other times, whether it's injuries, matchups, we've got to have some variety on the bench for coach to point to and say, go in there and help us win.
Tune into every Kings game this season
on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Sometimes progress toward global net zero can be hard to see, invisible even. Like how Chevron is targeting 25 million tons of CO2 per year in storage and offsets by 2030. While at the same time, working with partners to reduce the cost of carbon capture and scale the technology to other industries like cement, innovating toward lower carbon solutions today while helping others do the same for the future. That's energy in progress. Visit chevron.com/carbon capture.
Hold up, you're using Swiffer Power Mop? What would Mom say?
Oh, she'd be like, a mopping bucket is the only way to deep clean your floors. And I'd be like, Mom, this is the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one that gets you a mop and bucket clean in half the time.
She'd never believe you.
I'd say, look, the solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket. And the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get into grout lines. That's why you're the smart one.
Really?
What? Mom said it.
The new Swiffer Power Mop. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No. We tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our client's best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Gold Country Casino Resort Norville is proud to present one of the most powerful voices in country music. Come on now, we're running out of moonlight. Randy Houser live in concert on Saturday, September 23rd. Let me show you how. Country. Purchase your tickets now to see all of Randy Houser's greatest hits. Only at Gold Country Casino Resort. Must be 21 or older.
What's going on? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, as always, of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram. What's happening, Chad, for Ram Power Days?
Right now, save up to $12,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 1500 Bighorns, or get 0% financing for 72 months. Plus, save up to $8,000 off MSRP. No matter what you do, you're going to save thousands, but you better hurry in because that 0% won't last long.
0% financing? That's amazing.
Even I was surprised when I saw that. Plus, you can save up to $17,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 1500 Limiteds, too. No matter what you get, there's money to be saved at Hoblet.
This huge savings won't last long. Hurry into the Hoblet Ram Truck Center or see their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$8,000 off MSRP plus 0% financing for 72 months on select new 2023 Ram 1500 Bighorn after 8,000 dealer discounts on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. Must have 700 plus FICO score to qualify. No down payment required. Equals $1,389 per thousand borrowed. Or $12,000 total net savings after 6,500 factory rebates plus 5,500 dealer discounts. 10 in each net savings. $17,000 total net savings after 91.17 factory rebates and 78.83 dealer discounts. Sample VIN 665579. Rebates may include $1,000 case construction cash. Must prove purchase of eligible case equipment to qualify. And 500 first responder cash for current members of eligible first responder associations.
KHTKAM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good afternoon, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. We're getting ready for 49ers and Giants tonight right here on Sactown Sports. Stay tuned because in 15 minutes we'll be taking it out to Santa Clara for the pregame show. Injury reports have officially come in. The 49ers will be without both Brandon Ayuk and Ambry Thomas for tonight's game. Meanwhile, the Giants will be without Saquon Barkley, big money left tackle Andrew Thomas, left guard Ben Bredesen, and edge rusher Azeez Ojulari. Those are your headlines. It's time for the final segment here with Whitey and FP Jr. on Sactown Sports.
Christian McCaffrey with an opportunity to make some 49er history tonight. We touched on this much earlier, FP. But again, here's the deal. Christian McCaffrey tonight, he could score a touchdown here. He scored in 11 straight, scored a touchdown, that is, in 11 straight games, including the postseason. and the team record is 12 straight games with a touchdown. And that record currently held by Jerry Rice, set that in 1987. Christian McCaffrey can share a piece of that record tonight. Will he? Full prediction time, FP. Will he do it?
Yes.
Yeah,
I got
think
yes.
so.
I think it's a yes. I think it's going to be really cool. I hope Jerry Rice comes out and says something about it after. I hope they bring out the parade. It's cool. That's a really tough record to break. Think about it. You're not only like doing well, but you're scoring touchdowns in 12 straight games. Like that's incredible. You're a main contributor at that point.
Brock Purdy's streak of victories and games with 2 or more touchdowns ended last week. Of course, he did get the win. And did you know that his cleats went to the Hall of Fame?
Oh, I did not.
Yeah, so his cleats are in the Hall of Fame now because he set the record. His first guy was 6 victories and 2 touchdown passes in each of his first 6 games. That streak ended. Will he get back on the touchdown board tonight? Bold prediction time, FP. Will he do it?
I say also yes.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think there's a great opportunity tonight for him to go deep and pass deep. And
I wouldn't be surprised if one of the 2 is to McCaffrey, actually.
Oh, that'd be pretty interesting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That seems like something that would be pretty interesting to watch. But yeah, it just makes a lot of sense. I think he's going to be throwing the deep ball. I think they're going to be working on that in the game. And I think it's got to happen. If this Niners team wants to take another ridiculous step, they got to learn how to throw the deep ball. That's what all the teams, what you see win Super Bowls, they make those plays happen. How many times have we seen Patrick Mahomes throw the deep ball in key situations and come up clutch to win a big game?
Yeah.
You're going to need that eventually in your back pocket.
Right. And especially, I know that Brock Purdy's not the greatest deep passer, but they run the ball so well that it sets that up, as we saw last week, where you will get those opportunities.
Yeah, and I when I say deep ball, I'm not saying like a 50-yard bomb or anything like that. I'm saying like a 20 to 30-yard pass with a guy in motion with open field. Yeah. That's something I want to see tonight. That'd be great.
You know what I was reminded of last week? Some of those passes he missed were seam routes, and a quarterback the 49ers had who was great on those passes and never really got the credit for it that he deserved. Alex Smith to Vernon Davis on the seam route was like, that was money.
It was money, and I don't know if you played Madden back then, but that was like a cheat code.
Oh,
you
really?
could just run that.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
You could run that same play like to somebody that didn't know Madden. You just run that play like a million times and just run up the score 70 and up.
Yeah, and Alex Smith would be like, he's not that good, and he's injured a lot. But on seam route to Vernon Davis, like, man, on the money every time.
I always wondered if you're a quarterback, and I know Brock Purdy's of the shorter stature, and this is a short guy saying this, I wonder if it's harder to make those passes just because you got to see over some people right down the middle, right? Maybe you have somebody that's really tall in front of you putting their hands up, and you can't really see what's going on there. I kind of got the feeling maybe that's why he went too high, because he's afraid he was going to be tipped.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because they don't do a lot of, I mean, he's capable of it, but they don't move the pocket a lot, which would give you a chance, obviously, to get a better view.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a factor. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. I tend to do that at times, but I want to see that pass completed tonight. I think they're going to run that pass at least once or twice, and I hope it's scripted. I hope there's a lot of passes scripted to come out, because we've been saying it. We're broken records, really bad rush defense for the New York Giants, and they're going to have their way, or they should have their way at least.
It's almost, you figure it's like, well, what do you want to eat, right? Because you have options again with 2 rookie corners. We can probably throw the ball on them, we being the 49ers, or they can't stop the run. So which way do we want to attack them tonight to start the game?
It's fun. You get to like tune into the game and see like how they're going to attack the situation. But all signs point to the Niners in a blowout win. I'm still going to be a little cautious. I do feel better. We've been talking about the Niners for a while. You've convinced me. I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm a little bit more at ease, right? I'm still going to respect the opponent, respect the game. I think the 49ers win by 2 scores tonight. At the very least. At least 2 scores tonight. What say you?
2 scores could be like 4 points, 2 safeties. Are we talking?
Don't you like that? That's a radio trick right there. 2
scores. That could be anywhere from 4 to 16.
Yeah, come on, Whitey. That was a radio trick. I'm trying to sound smart here.
Well,
it could be 2 touchdowns. It could be like, it could be 2 field goals.
Right.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
But okay, how about this? I'll say 2 touchdowns.
All right. Well, so then you would advise, if anyone is betting legally, that you give the points. I'm totally on board with that.
Yeah, 10.5.
49ers give the points.
Yeah, 10.5.
Especially if you can still get 10 anywhere, then definitely do it.
Yeah, I think that's a easy decision to make if you just have a little bit. Please gamble responsibly.
See, now that's where just watching the game, I feel like, yeah, the 49ers are going to win. If I were betting on the game, that's where I would start to feel like, it's too obvious. Something's not right here. It's too obvious.
Well, good thing Sean McVay's not coaching, right? And knows the lines.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're
he said he didn't know, FP.
I bet a lot of Niners bettors are a little traumatized at what happened last Sunday. So maybe they're like, wait a minute, something's not right here. So that is a good point. Maybe they feel like I feel about the game, but from a bettor's perspective.
Yeah. Were you okay with that he did that? All things considered, big picture? He did say, I didn't know that, which I'm not buying, but still.
So I'm not a gambler personally, so I thought it was amusing just because I'm not a gambler.
I agree.
So I was like, that sucks for somebody. So I was in that party, but if I was putting money on that game, I'd be furious.
Yes.
I would be like, somebody launched an investigation on Twitter. This is something is up. Somebody knows too much, like something like that. But
if it were my team, I would rather lose by 7 than 10.
Yeah, 7 than 10, I guess.
I mean, I'd kick a field goal okay. And point differential is a playoff tiebreaker. It's like way down the list, but I mean, there's some real sense you could use to back up that reasoning.
Yeah, I think the answer Sean McVay gave too. If you don't remember, he said something along the lines of, it was just our best shot, and then we're going to go for an onside kick. And, we had a real opportunity if we got the onside kick.
Right.
It's like, okay.
There's no time left.
You're just, the mental hurdles you're putting over this are ridiculous. You're just doing gymnastics at this point.
Yes.
So
yes.
But it was funny. I enjoyed it.
On this date in New York Giants history, going back to 1998, everyone's talking about Deion now for good reason. He's just turned the college football world on its ear. And we can't forget, with all the talk of what a great coach he's been, we can't forget what a great player he was. Because on this date, it was September 21st, 1998, Deion Sanders, Monday Night Football against the Giants. He started the game, had the first touchdown of the game with a 59-yard punt return for a touchdown. He had the last touchdown of the game, a 71-yard pick six. And also in that game, he caught a pass for 55 yards. In a Giants loss to Dallas. That was 31-7 on this date, 98. Deion Sanders. So I read that. I was like, man, I forgot how good he was.
I've been on the Coach Prime train. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. I think it's great for college football. I think it's great for sports. I've been watching his highlights like nothing else. I saw one the other day against the Cleveland Browns, and he was with the Falcons, where he had an interception, and there's not a lot of open field. And he starts high-stepping at the 50-yard line. Nobody does that. Nobody.
Right.
He was high-stepping at the 50-yard line because he knew, I think there was one defender to his right trying to close in. He knew he had him. There was nobody catching him. And then I went to look at his baseball stats, and he had something like, 25 triples in a year.
He was a really good baseball player, especially considering it was his side job.
Yeah, this was like a side gig for him. And,
yeah.
Oh, my God. If you look at his baseball stats, he was a really good baseball player too. I'm not saying like good.
I think
he was
had
really
like
good.
280 something for the Giants.
Yeah, he was legitimate.
Yeah.
He was a really, really good baseball player. Just a freak athlete. Really fun to watch. So if you have some time tonight, please check out some YouTube clips or something on the internet. He's just a treat. Still delivering.
My favorite Deion Sanders 49er story is right before they played the Chargers in the Super Bowl. And, Jerry Rice was on that team. And Jerry Rice had been on those great teams with Bill Walsh coaching them, where they were underdogs and they were very disciplined and they took care of their business and they focused. And that team that year, they're going to play the Chargers, and they were a little looser during the Super Bowl week. So they have a meeting the night before the Super Bowl, according to people who were there. And there's NFL films where they talk about this. And Jerry's like, hey guys, what are we doing here? If we're not careful, we're gonna lose the game. And Deion says, Jerry, we've got this. He says, we're gonna kill these guys. You don't understand. Don't worry about it, Jerry. We got this. And of course, Deion was right.
Yeah.
But Prime, when he says, I got this, when he showboats, it's okay because he knew, he always backed it up.
He's a smart man. It's not like he's
I'm glad
arrogant.
you said that. I said that yesterday.
He's a very, very intelligent guy, and he's very aware of his abilities. He knows what he can do, and he knows what he can't do.
Yeah.
Like, he's very self-aware. He knew that they were going to kill him, so I'm not surprised. Like, everything he says and he does, he could back up.
Yes.
That's what's so, I think, authentic about Coach Prime right now is he's not saying anything this week. We're gonna kill Oregon, right? or it's personal. He kind of knows, like, hey, this one might be a heat check for organization. He's being very respectful, right? You're not seeing him as much in the media, which is perfect, right? He knows.
And they got USC the next week. Right?
Yeah, he knows this is going to be a tough stretch for his program. It's his first year, right? It's building stages, but he's in probably one of the most intelligent athletes I could think of.
Yeah.
Really, and self-aware athletes too.
Yeah.
Comes hand in hand.
To motivate people the way he's motivated players and to just navigate the waters that he's navigated and is currently navigating. You can't do that unless you're really shrewd and understand people.
Hey, I saw one of his speeches the other day on social media, and I had to go get a smog check for my car I didn't want to get, and I watched it. And I was like,
fired up for your smog
I was
check?
like, you know what? I'm going to get this done today. I'm going to set up an appointment because you know what? It's time to get this done. And I got it done.
Yeah, let's go. Smog check.
Hey, if you don't believe me, go check my Twitter. I tweeted about it.
I believe you. All right, so we agree 49ers win tonight by 2 touchdowns?
Yeah, I got 2.
Yeah? All right. You're on board with that, Kyle?
Let's say 10 points.
10 points.
Okay.
With a garbage time touchdown.
So you're betting on the Giants then if you were betting.
Can I get it at 10 or 10 and a
10 and a
half?
half. Which way you going?
I'll stay away.
All right. We've got Giants and 49ers pregame from Levi's next, right here, Sactown Sports.
Your new home for 49ers football in the 916, Sactown Sports.
Hey, I love your outfit. It's Stitch Fix. I'd like to thank my